What's going on, YouTube? How everybody doing this evening? And good morning if you're on the other side of the earth. We got 20 in right now. Please hit that like button if you haven't already. Shout out to my moderator, Alex What. And also, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to all the other channels, the Rant channel, as well as the Travel channel and the Music channel. All right, let's see what we got in the chat. Tiger, what's going on, brother? Arnell, glad we got the usual suspects in here. Complete Indifference, what's going on, brother? Bluff City Nerd, hold on. I gotta stop it for Bluff City Nerd, man. Shout out to Bluff City Nerd. He just hit 10K subs, y'all. We gotta give that brother some love, man. And you want to know what's funny? When he was on the live show last week, I told him, like, when you find something that's booming, bro, you just gotta ride that wave. Look like he followed my advice. I'm like, he started following up how well he did on that one video covering the all the foreigners coming here for the World Cup. Like, I'm like, that man gained like 1,000, 2,000 subs overnight. Real quick. Oh yeah, I was gonna say, I know he already announced it there. Yeah, I was gonna say something about it before you even dropped it, bro. I've been paying attention. I was actually looking at a video of you getting interviewed about why you got and how you got into content created, man. So yeah, bro. Salute the Bluff City Nerd for hitting that 10K. Cause that, let me tell you, that is not easy, not at all whatsoever. You gonna have your finally have your first nice little YouTube check. You know what I'm saying? That's what's up. You been hitting, bro. I've been seeing you. Okay. Chicago White Sox fan said he waiting on that passport. I'm over here waiting on a visa. I'm hoping I'm hearing something. I'm hoping to hear something by this weekend. Derwin Mitchell, what's going on? Frank Tate, the OG, what's going on? Jermaine, what's going on, brother? Alrighty. I'm surprised Will Mallory ain't in here because he's been asking for this collaboration more so than anybody. But without further ado, bring in mi madre, my mother, Mom Dukes, is in the building tonight. You there?
I'm there. I'm here. You thought I fell asleep?
Nah. Let's see. Mom, do you have YouTube?
Huh?
Do you have YouTube?
Yeah, I got YouTube.
Like, do you have it on with that?
Huh?
Like, do you have it on with that? Because it seems to be an echo. Hello?
Wait a minute, what are you saying?
I don't know.
You get the echo?
It's like I can hear myself through your phone.
So what you want me to do?
I don't know. Does it have like a mute? I don't know. I'm gonna be able to work. Like, does it have a mute button?
Now, you know, I don't know this is the first time you put me on here. I don't know.
I'm like, it should be an option to mute the mic. You don't see that anywhere? I thought I saw it when I showed it to you. Okay. Okay, now do y'all still hear the echo? Like, let me know in the chat if y'all still hear the echo. And while I wait on y'all to let me know on that, I'm gonna go ahead and yeah, I'm gonna have to you know what? I wonder if she does it through Facebook instead of YouTube, would that eliminate the echo? Takia Hilton, what's going on, man? See something. Damn, I'm trying to figure out. Okay. Okay. Hey, Mom, unmute yourself. Okay, now talk. Okay, yeah. I still hear that. I don't know why. Hey, Mom, try to go back out and try to get on through Facebook to see if that makes sense. Okay. All right. I'm going to have her go out and go back in through Facebook and see if that was it. Yeah, the reason why the echo is coming back, y'all, is because the echo is coming through because she's doing it through her phone. So I'm going to have her go back out and go back in because it gave her the option to do it through Facebook. And what I'm hoping is that'll eliminate the echo because the echo is more than likely coming from the fact that she's on YouTube doing it. All right, let me bring her back in.
Could it be because I got the ceiling fan on?
Nah. Well, damn. I'm still hearing that echo. I'm hearing you. I'm hearing myself through your phone.
It's because it won't let me go back out to select Facebook or YouTube. Like when I go back to the link, it's already got me going through into the studio.
Trying to figure this out. Okay. Will in here.
What's the echo you hear?
I can hear myself through your phone. Everybody can hear the echo.
And when I muted it, did it go away?
Yeah. But I was trying to set it up to where it'd be easier I was hoping we could set it up to where I wouldn't have to do that because if I'm playing this video, I don't know, you're gonna have to be quick on the draw about unmuting whenever you want me to stop if you want to say something. You understand me, Mom? Yeah, you guys, that's why we're echoing. The reason why I'm echoing is because it's her phone. That's what I'm trying to explain, you guys. That's what we're trying to like figure out now. So you got me, Mom? Mom, unmute. Mom. What's going on, T-Pat? What's going on, bro? Mom, unmute yourself.
Hear you?
Huh?
I hear you.
Okay. Well, all right. Well, look, here's what I'll do. Because hold on, let me try something. I'm gonna mute you from StreamYard and then try to unmute yourself. Okay, try to. Okay. So here's.
You need me to say something?
Now, what I was gonna say was, here's what we'll do. Like, if you whenever you want me to stop, just unmute yourself, and then I'll stop the video whenever you want me to stop and chime in, or when I'm like, otherwise, I'm gonna have to like mute you whenever I'm speaking because everybody, including myself, can hear the echo from me talking through your phone, and it's just making for bad audio. So like that we just gonna have to work it out that way. Okay.
Now wait a minute. It said you unmuted your mic. Okay, go ahead. Somehow you unmuted my mic.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I'm doing it from here because here's the thing. Whenever you unmute, whenever you mute it. Let me take that. Let me mute you. Whenever you mute it, I can't unmute you from StreamYard. So it only works if I mute you and then you hit unmute whenever you want to come in or want me to stop or whatever. That's why I was saying that. You understand now?
Understand.
Okay. All right, you guys.
Then wait a minute. Then how come it just went? How come my speaker, my mic unmuted? I didn't touch it.
Okay. Because I can control it from here.
Okay.
I'm just telling you that way so that way you have to come in if you want to. You understand that?
Kind of. Yeah, let's get started and we'll see.
Okay, you get it. All right, you guys, my apologies. No, Mom, unmute yourself. Okay, now we good. Damn, for 3 years ago? I wonder what that was. Okay. All right, you guys, my apologies. We gonna work it out, man. Let's go ahead and get into this. I'm like, and she's kind of watched a little bit of this. So there might be a point in time where she might want me to stop because she was kind of glossing over some of the stuff that she watched when I sent it to her the other day. Let's get into it.
Welcome, everyone. And today I have with me, please introduce yourself.
Cecil Stevens.
And his lovely bride?
Elois Stevens.
Elois Stevens. Awesome. How many years have you all been married?
You've been married 39 years. Will be 40 in October of this year.
Woo! Awesome. What spiritual concept of being one played out in your marriage?
Again, we should use each other as being a team and confide each other, use each other for guidance and follow direction from each other as far as what's we're supposed to do biblically and as far as what we were supposed to do as far as loving and being one with one another.
Okay. All right. Being one with each other, teammates. I heard that partnership.
Yep.
Like you say. Okay.
And thinking about what hurts him hurts me because we are one.
Yeah. And knowing that each of us has our own strengths and weaknesses and relying on the strengths of each other as opposed to just trying to do things on our own and becoming one in that manner.
Okay. Now you talk.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Okay, can I speak?
Yeah, if you want.
Okay. Um, I understand what they're saying. I understand what they're saying, but most people getting married nowadays, they don't think like that. They get caught up in the ceremonies, the pageantry of the wedding, of the reception and stuff. That part about being a team and stuff, that they don't know nothing about that because they haven't discussed that. So that's the difference I'm seeing nowadays when people talk about marriage and stuff now. And that's why you have so many young people not getting married, because it's that teamwork thing. They like being together, but they still want to be you and me be me. And I can tell you from experience that does not work out.
Yeah, I'm like, I definitely like that answer, because I was thinking to myself, like, yeah, you say that to, yeah, there ain't too many women going. I don't know. It's just, here's what I've realized. I think when women, like you said, when today's women hear that, it sounds too much like work to them. Like it sounds too much like that's what
Well, seriously,
effort.
yeah, seriously, it is work. I mean, if anybody been married a long time will tell you being married is work. I thought nothing comes easy, and you have to learn to compromise, which, I tell you all the time, that was something I had to learn to do after me and your dad got married. Yeah, because I thought to myself, it takes work. It is not easy. It seriously, it is not easy, and most of the time it's because people don't talk to each other. They in their own little world. They listen to other people, and yeah, and really, any woman going into a marriage that thinks I don't have to put no effort into it, yeah, she's in fantasy land.
All right, let's get back into it.
Talked about the feelings. What hurts him also hurts you. So would you say consideration is important in your partnership?
Oh, absolutely.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, again, you, in theory, I mean, you don't want to hurt the person you supposedly love, and you don't want them to hurt you also. So in doing so, you should not try to do anything that would cause them to try to react or try to hurt you. And you yourself should not do anything, purposely. Of course, not everybody's perfect. It all sounds good, but things happen. But there's that reconciliation. Hopefully afterwards, there's asking for forgiveness and admitting that you've done things wrong, which is very difficult sometimes. So,
yeah,
I like that answer. Young folks nowadays are saying that when they're dating, not even married, his money is our money, and my money is my money. In other words, she wants to spend his money without contributing.
You wanted to say something, Mom?
Now, that's crazy. And any man that lets some woman come into his house and I'm gonna spend all your money and I'm gonna keep mine, he needs to just make sure she don't unpack and set her out the door. I don't understand how you can let anybody come in your house and not share in the expenses of a household. That's crazy.
Oh my God.
Any money of her own. There are also many people are saying that even when dating, not married, they don't want to go 50-50 on relationships as far as bills or expenses. They want to move in and just do nothing but be cute. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I'll take that one. Well, first of all,
okay.
I actually have a problem with people moving in with each other and they're not married, that's the problem in the first place. But if that is the case, because not everybody was raised in a Christian home and that may not be an issue for them, but the fact of the matter is, it's not a 50-50. It's your money. It's our money. So you got to sit down and talk about how you're going to spend our money.
And again, it goes back to respecting each other. And even though, again, they're not married, they're not one, but again, and they do things in unity. If they have an agreement, like we have issues with our country now that people can't compromise, they can't get along because it's either their way or no way at all. So if you go into a marriage like that, you see how dysfunctional it is for our government. Imagine being in a dysfunctional relationship with somebody that you're in a relationship with, spouse or girlfriend, boyfriend relationship.
I like that because
Okay. I was gonna say because Will, you was in the Air Force too, right? Okay, I was gonna say because I got a niece that was in the Air Force too, so that's what's up.
very often people join in, they come to the meeting defended or guarded, and they, instead of saying, how can we help each other towards this common goal, they want my way, my way, and why can't you see it my way?
Why don't you do it my way? Yeah.
I only want what's good for me.
Yeah.
So
Well, no, they don't think it's just good for them. They want what's good for us, but it's basically, again, it's what they want for themselves, which has the priority.
awesome. Thank you. So how did you know when you were dating, how did you know that you individually were mature enough for marriage?
I think for most guys, we don't really think about that. So I mean, I've been single. I mean, I'd gone and done things, I mean, for as far as getting my education and things that I thought would be necessary to prepare me in theory for marriage, but I didn't really think about, was I old enough, was not old enough, was I mature enough that I had the right mentality or whatever for marriage. So I'm not sure how guys think about that. I think women are more in tune with things like that, and most guys, or in my particular case, I was not.
Would you say that you had a role model growing up, a father figure, somebody whose behavior you emulate or think about?
I would think so, but I mean, nothing really comes to mind right now.
Okay.
Like I say, hopefully your parents or somebody, relatives or something, have provided a model, or some older folks, but or people that you knew that were married, or younger people that you knew that were married. But again, it was not something I really put a lot of thought into.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ma'am?
I really hadn't put a lot of thought into it either. It was more or less, I knew because of my parents what a marriage looked like. I knew what scripture said about a marriage. I knew that. But as far as me saying, okay, yeah, I know I'm ready to get married, I don't think I knew that for sure, but I knew what the foundation was and what I needed to do to get married, stay married. And two, we were a little bit older, I think, than most people when they got married. So we had, we were in the military already, just had come in the military. So we kind of knew a little bit about life. And then we kind of paid attention to each other and what was happening. Because I think you kind of know if that person is the right person. And then if you bring God into the equation, because I know I certainly brought God into the equation as to, is this the person you want me to marry?
Awesome. So you all were out of college, you graduated, you had careers established in the military. So you all were making your own money. You weren't looking for each other for substance, but for character. Would you say that's a healthy part of finding a partner for those who are aspiring to be married?
Yeah, I think, again, I would think most people don't want to go into or have somebody going after you in a relationship because of what you're going to provide as far as being able to support them, which maybe the case for some, but again, what can you provide that supplements what they have already? Not, you're going to provide 90% or whatever it is, and I'm going to be there or whatever, for whatever reason, and do whatever. So
that's awesome. All right. For you to answer individually about your own gender, you, sir.
Go ahead.
So is that Is that what most young women are saying nowadays? That they want a husband, but they want that husband to be able to provide for them, like take care of everything, and then they do what they want to do. Whether they let me
Yep,
explain.
pretty much.
So even if they're working, now I can see if you're married and you don't have a baby and you don't have any income coming in, well, of course he has to take care of everything. But these women that are holding down jobs, they're saying, okay, I want a husband, but I want to keep my money and have him take care of everything.
Or they just want to stop working and maybe like try to start something from home or something like that.
What you mean to stop work? Like they got a good job, but they just stop working because they figure he gonna take care of them.
That at least long enough for maybe to start their own business or some business venture or something like that. Like that's typically what seems to be the model nowadays. One of the other. It usually falls on just not either not having a big deal or not working out. Like it's getting to the point where hold on, Mom. My apologies for the mute. It's getting to the point now, Mom, where they're over here saying like being a stay-at-home mom, like women want to get paid to be stay-at-home moms. I've done videos about stay-at-home dads saying it's the easiest thing in the world, and stay-at-home moms be getting heated, but stay-at-home dads be over here literally breaking down day by day what they do, and they over here having the best time of their life. And then you got some women that are over here saying that ain't enough. Now you got to be a kept woman. So in other words, she literally just got to sit in the house and literally just wake up and just be her. So it's got that.
Okay, so all the young men that's on here, when y'all run into these women, seriously, just run as fast as you can, get away from them, because normal thinking women. Okay, so Jerome, when I met your dad, I had just started working at Western, so I had been there a few months. But by the time we got married, I had been there over 3.5 years. I never ever thought, let me quit my job and sit at home so he can take care of me. I'm like, what? Because I thought myself, most of the time when people, and in this day and age, most households, you have to have two incomes. You cannot live the lifestyle you want to live, and you're not. And there's you see even if people working from home or starting their business, that's because they bringing the money together. This mentality, and I don't know where these girls got this from, that you sit at home and somebody just gonna, and that's fine if you sitting at home, but you can't expect to be buying Gucci bags and getting your nails done and your hair done, and he paying all the bills and stuff because you had a baby. I'm thinking that's crazy. And what's this pay me to be a stay-at-home mom? Who's paying them?
The husband.
The husband? Oh my God.
Oh no, Mom, that's nothing. I remember one time I did a video about a woman that's literally, she got a guy, he's making, I think he was making maybe 150, 200,000 a year, right? Got a stay-at-home wife and pays her as well as pay all the bills.
Pay her like she's a nanny.
Yeah.
You have got to be kidding. Oh, Lord have mercy. This world is messed up. Yeah, I can see me telling your dad that. Yeah, okay.
But see, here's the bad part though, Mom. All it takes is one woman to have that, and you got thousands and millions that are like, oh no, I'm not settling for anything less than that. And then women be over here complaining.
But do they realize that there's only, number one, women outnumber men 5-1. And if you living in America, anybody living in America need to pay attention. Even if you have a college education, it is hard to make $100,000. Because number one, with all the stuff going on in the world with DEI and all of this, it's hard to make $100,000. And really, we all know $100,000 really ain't a lot of money. I mean, back in the day, I'd have thought, oh my God, we rich. But it's not a lot of money like it used to be. But my thing is, it seems like the whole relationship they basing on money.
Mm-hmm.
I thought myself, what happened to loving a man and loving a woman? And I guess back in
love don't pay bills, Mom. That's what they said.
Well, then they need to stay single. Seriously, stay single. They shouldn't be looking for husbands. Just stay single. Because I thought that, you know, I didn't have much. Your dad didn't have much, so I had to be marrying him for love. I thought, seriously, because I thought myself, a lot of people get married now and they don't have much. They put it together and they build their wealth. But I thought, I'll marry you, but you know, you got to make enough to pay the bills. Then no, we ain't getting married. I'm like, this is crazy. This world is crazy.
What makes a husband a good husband? And man, we'll come to you. Ask what makes a wife a good wife? What's good?
Well, I actually need to answer what makes a husband a good
what makes a husband a good husband.
and then he can answer, because
Okay.
I think what makes a wife a good wife is, again, the character. You should have some things in common with whoever your husband is going to be. Guys, again, to be able to, if you can't agree on things, or which you're not going to agree on everything, you can work through issues and resolve them where, both of you aren't, maybe not ecstatic, but at least both of you have gotten something out of the transaction. That your wife should be loving, your wife should be kind, she should be considerate of you as you should be considerate of her. And again, God should be in our, as Christians, we should have the basis that God, and following after his laws, after his guidance, and us to be a prominent thing as far as what we should be looking for as a spouse.
Awesome, ma'am.
What makes a good husband a good husband? To me, it's someone who, first of all, who cherished me and loved me. Like I'm number one.
Me number two.
I'm number one. And someone who will be there for me. I mean, for women, I think we need attention, but we also need to know that you're going to be there regardless of what happens. We need to know that to you, we may not be beautiful to somebody else, but to you, we're the most beautiful thing there is. We're the most intelligent thing there is. You love us regardless of the size. Regardless of the finances, whatever, you love me. And I think that's what makes a good husband. And you're going to provide for me.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. I think you were saying number two because God is first. Right?
God should be first.
Now, I like her answer. Well, I like both of their answers. The one thing that neither one of them said, and that's the one thing that being widowed, that's the one thing I miss about my husband being gone. Your dad was a romantic. And I miss that. I miss us just being in the house and turning on music and slow dancing and laughing and talking. And she is right. A man should look at his wife as the most beautiful person in the world. And that's the way your dad was to me. And I thought myself, now I may not have been beautiful to anybody else, but like to him, like my sister would say, you'll be sitting there laughing and talking, and he's sitting across the room and he's just staring at you like you're a piece of chocolate cake. And I laughed. I said, what? She said, because that look lets everybody know he loves you. And you know your dad thought I was the smartest person in the world. I could fake it. I thought I could fake being the smartest person in the world, but he thought I was, And I thought, but it's just like a song would come on and I remember us just being in the house by ourselves. And he'll take my hand and pull me up and we slow dancing and we laughing and giggling and stuff. And I'm thinking, oh my God, I thought myself, I miss us sitting out on the porch this time of night, sitting out on the porch, listening to music, laughing and talking. And I'm like, romance is a big thing. And I'm not talking about sex. I'm talking about romance, where you just hug each other. Or sometimes your dad would go put gas in the car and come home with a gas station rose. Because you know how they had the little roses by the cash register?
Yeah.
And he'd bring one of them to me. See, it's those little bitty things. And see, these people talking about all this money and stuff, that just floors me because somebody can really hate you and give you money. And I'm thinking to myself, so no, I'm like, it's just sad that everything's wrapped up in money now. I'm like, oh my God. I'm thinking, and they trying to take everything away from us. I'm thinking, so we're not going to love each other? That's nuts.
First, yeah.
That's where
Oh,
you're
I
going.
get you.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Good.
And so, would you think that the person's relationship with God has a foundation on whether they're a good husband or wife?
I would think so, but again, you can't predicate that on that. Just because that's the whole issue. I mean, if you're a Christian, supposedly, then you should have that relationship with God. But if you're just somebody that goes to church or whatever, you're not, you're not what I would define as a Christian, but you're somebody that's religious or whatever. So it's going to be more than just being somebody that's religious. So again, if we indeed are trying to follow what God has set before us, that is going to be the basis of everything. So it
Not
should
just
be
playing the Christian,
Yeah.
not just having a cross, but doing what you want to do.
Yeah.
Okay. Would you like to add to that, ma'am?
No, I think he did great on that.
I would agree. The next question: what's the key to keeping it together in today's culture? What do you think some of the challenges are in today's culture that would cause divisions?
I think for a lot of today's culture, probably it's not just today, it's probably been in the past, but it's more prevalent now because of some of the social media and the things where people are into the for lack of better, the me stuff. Everything is about me.
Hold on. Yo, shout out to Mrs. Don. Mrs. Don, we got my mom on the live show. Mom, Mrs. Don is the lady that got me this Rick and Morty poster behind me when the first time I went to Las Vegas. I met her and some other people that watch the channel.
Want to do this. I have a spouse, I don't have a spouse, but I am more important and my well-being takes priority over theirs. And sometimes your well-being can be a priority, but it's not the sole thing that's going to be the priority in your marriage.
Yeah. And I really agree with that. And also, which leads to spending time together.
Yeah.
A lot of times we spend more time with our friends, our sorority sisters, our church, more than we spend with our spouse.
Or things, yeah. Or other
And
things.
we prefer that over our spouse. Already you're setting yourself up because, it's supposed to be God, husband, wife, kids. You don't put, those things above your spouse. And they're good things. But
Yeah,
you
they're
have
good.
to know what the priorities are. And there are healthy priorities, and you got to know what the healthy priorities are.
Healthy priorities.
Yeah, because like my favorite Bible verse is Ecclesiastes. There's a time and a purpose. Well, I got to anyway. Ecclesiastes 3. Look it up.
Yeah.
Gladly.
Damn, so that was in the Bible too. There's a time for everything. I thought that was just a saying. I didn't know that was in the Bible. And a season for every activity under the heavens. Okay.
Glad
He's
I put that
absolutely
in- I
right.
put that on the,
About I told you the story about when me and your dad first got married, and he had to adjust to not just hanging out because he now had a wife at home. That does take some adjustment when you come from a single life into a married life. And not that you're supposed to get rid of your friends, but you have to realize your priorities, and you have to know when to cut people off because you got to go home. I was out with some friends one time, and it was like 12:30, and I got up and said, well, ladies, I got to go. And this one girl said to me, oh, you got a curfew. And I looked at her and I said, no, I don't have a curfew, but I do have a husband at home. And I got my purse and left. and my mama's friend, Miss Letha, I was telling her about it, and she said, does she have a husband? I said, no, ma'am. She said, well, you did the right thing. She said, don't ever, ever let anybody that doesn't have a husband try to tell you about yours. She said that just don't even make sense. And you know what I thought about it years ago, because I would run into her all the time, and she passed away about a year ago. Never had a husband. Never had a husband. So yeah, that's the one thing you do have to realize. You cannot let outside people or your family get in the middle of your marriage. Because I'm thinking, you know how I am, Jerome. I'm like, don't get in my business.
No, the reason why, everybody in the chat laughing with me, because I'm thinking to myself, like how many times we done said this on this channel and in this space, on these YouTube streets, we be saying the same thing. It's always the ones that ain't got no man, bro. This shit is hilarious. Like, and how long ago was this, Mom?
Me and your dad, we must have been married maybe 3-4 years. And
so we
but you know how you have a girls' night out.
We talking over 40 years ago.
Yeah, because I'm a smart aleck anyway. Because I'm looking at her like, you can't shame me into staying. I'm going home. And I thought to myself, but years later when I would run into her and stuff, and she never ever got married, and I laughed because I remember her saying that to me, and I'm thinking to myself, yeah, see what I'm saying? I had a husband for 46 years. I'm like, you've been single your whole entire life. I'm like, yeah, good thing I didn't take her advice. I'd have been right back out there with her.
Have you ever heard this saying, Mom, single women keep women single?
And they've said this in the video about how if you got single friends, and but when you have single friends, you got to have boundaries. You can't step over into my marriage. We friends, we cool, but you stay over here. Don't step over. Don't advise me. I don't like nobody. If you know how I am, Jerome, don't no, don't advise me. Just stay over there and be my friend. We'll be cool as long as you stay over that line. But when you get step over that, girl, if I was you, no, you wrong now.
Nah, see, I know how you is. You'll cock your neck out and start rolling your eyes and shit.
Right. I'm like, because you wrong. Don't be talking about if it was you. It couldn't possibly be you. You don't have a husband. So mind your business.
on the screen. All right, this is going awesome. What actions do you take to make your spouse happy? Which is to say that they're satisfied with you, or that they're satisfied that they made the right choice in you, what actions do you take to make them happy?
Yeah, I'll go. So, one of the things for me is we talk about things that makes me unhappy. So that way, it's not a question of, okay, did that upset me? Did that make me feel uncomfortable? So we talk about things and how it affected us or how it affected me, and that way we both know. And then I get a better opportunity to express how I really feel, because sometimes in the very beginning of our marriage, if I got mad about something, I just wouldn't talk, and that's not a good thing. That's not a good thing at all, because Cecil would not know what was wrong because I didn't talk. So,
Hey, Mom, can you tell them about that? Because you were just telling me about this the other day.
Okay, when we first got married, and I had to laugh because sometimes I think back to like, because I got married at 21, so I'm thinking back to that girl and how I evolved over the years. But I would get mad at his dad, and it's because I instead of just telling him how I felt, I would just be mad, and I would just walk. I'd walk around for 2 weeks and not talk to him. But then after a while, I started thinking, well, this is kind of stupid. You're not going to leave him. So why are you walking around not talking to him? Just tell him. And a lot of times he didn't even know why I was mad. Because he'd be like, well, why didn't you say something? And I'm thinking, yeah, that is kind of stupid. If you're mad about something, tell the person why you're mad. But I'm just going to walk around. I'd clean the house. I'd cook. I'd go to grocery store. I'm just, don't look at me. I'm not talking to you. And I thought, I know I wasted probably a good year acting like that. And then it's like this little angel jump on my shoulder. It's like, you know how stupid this is? And then finally, I just start telling them how I felt. I'm thinking, you're wasting time. Because if you're not going to, and I wasn't going to leave him. I didn't feel like I'm mad at you enough to leave you. I wasn't leaving him. I'm thinking to myself, no. But I'm mad. And as you start getting older, the marriage really start getting stronger the more we talk to each other and just tell each other, hey, she right. You got to open your mouth. And I thought myself, the thing I notice now when I go out and I'm like, I'll be sitting there and I look at couples come in and they sitting there and they look, each of them looking in their phones. I'm like, what? Why did they come out if they're going to sit and look at their phones? Put your phones up and talk. But that's the problem. They don't talk to each other, And I sit there and look at them and I'm thinking, that's the time I wasted. I just didn't have a phone. I just didn't talk. And that's really stupid because you don't know how much time you got left on this earth. So you need to talk.
I had to learn to let him know, but I had to do it in a way that was loving so that he would want to talk, and then not too long either. Can't talk too long.
So you didn't come at him with attitude and I think that's where a lot of people think, oh, why does man say we nagging? Because we heard you the first time.
Yeah.
So would you say that the tone and which you said things mattered?
Oh, absolutely. Because I know it matters to me.
Yeah, it matters to everybody.
Yeah.
So you were saying that you told him what upset you. Would you say that in time he learned you?
Oh, absolutely.
He knew which buttons to push, which
or
buttons
not to
push.
Well, and then vice versa. I mean, it's not just a one-way thing. I mean, because people, again, interacting with people, as you know them, you know how to do to make them, not make them, but again, how they're going to react if you do certain things. And if you want them to react a certain way, you may do something. So,
Awesome. Thank you. What would you recommend couples stay away from to make their marriages happy?
Unfortunately, sometimes you have to stay away from some of your outside influences, like your friends or people that you think are your friends, because they will tell you, well, if I was doing such and such, I wouldn't let him do that to me, or I wouldn't let her talk to me that way. I wouldn't let her spend all the money. I wouldn't let him spend all the money. I would run the house. I'd be in charge. I mean, it's funny to me, like, because I always think about it. A guy will say, why are you letting your wife tell you what to do? I'm like, why am I letting you tell me what to do?
Ooh, I like that.
Ooh.
I mean, you're not even married to me, and you have really no vested interest in what happens with anything with me. So why am I listening to you? And why shouldn't I listen to my wife, who I supposedly love, and she supposedly loves me, and we're supposedly looking out for the best interest of ourselves as a group? So
Awesome. It's kind of like single people keeping other people single.
that's right.
I've never heard that before.
Oh yeah, the late great Kevin Samuels.
Oh.
Would you say that it's unwise to keep single friends as a married person?
To keep them, it depends. So, I have one best friend that's single, but it sort of depends. It depends on how often you interact with them, and again, your relationship with them, and if they understand or are willing to understand your relationship with your spouse. It's like anything else. You probably, there's some married people you don't want to keep as friends.
Ooh,
Yeah.
didn't think about that. Like Psalms 1:1, blessed is he who doesn't walk in the counsel of the wicked.
Yeah.
You're around them, but
Yeah.
they're not influencing you. All right.
So yeah.
Yeah, and to that though, I will add that I think as women, and men, we have to be careful about the opposite sex.
Yeah, as single
About
friends.
that friendship. Well, not just single friends, married,
married
other
friends.
married friends. You got to be careful. It's got to be boundaries. I don't care what friends. It's got to be boundaries, because if you cross that line or they cross that line, then you got to deal with it. So it's best not to let anyone cross that line and just have the boundaries to begin with.
I like that. Having boundaries. All right. What do you recommend couples do more often together to make their marriage happy or to sustain a happy marriage?
I think we already kind of still already spending the quality time with each other. And then if you do have something that you like to do or want to do, like we're both involved in our fraternities and sororities, but if they have an event my wife can go to, I take my wife. If her sorority has an event I can go to, I go. She may be the only woman there, or I may be the only guy there, but we're there. So
Together.
So again, people see that there is, and that's the other thing, people see that there is a relationship between you and your spouse. So there's a tendency to joke about it, but there is that they do have a tendency to respect that because they know or seem to understand that's the way you are.
Yeah.
I like that. Monda, whenever they see one, they see the
Yeah.
other.
Yep. And they know it.
That's awesome. What do you think a single person should look for in a spouse?
Oh, I want your answer first, Mom, before I hear their answer.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you.
Oh, Lord. Here we
When
go.
I first met your dad, it's because I just thought he was so cute. I'm not gonna lie, I did. I just thought he was the cutest thing. But when I got to know him, and your dad wasn't the biggest talker, but when he did talk, I realized he was one of those people that hadn't got to do what he wanted to do. Like, he wanted to travel. He wanted a home. And, so this is the stuff he dreamed about. So when I, that part of him, because he didn't really, him being 8 years older than me, that also helped too. He didn't talk a whole lot of mess. And like I said, he was just romantic, he opening up the door, pulling the chair out and stuff, and just letting I want to be with you. Because there are some people, I had went out with guys that basically you were there, but you weren't there. They would walk up Like they walk up, the two of you walk up and they friend, hey, what's happening? And have a conversation and never introduced me, never said nothing. You know, so I thought to myself, your dad was never like that. Whenever I was with him, we run into somebody and this is my wife, Bev, you know, because yeah, I want you to know she belongs to me. Most of these people nowadays just, I don't know. I thought to myself, yeah, you gotta pick somebody that you really can have a conversation with, you can laugh with, and that's the big thing, laughing.
Well,
They go for looks, is it character?
Well, I think you should go for character. I think you should go for looks. I think you should go for someone who likes what you like. I mean, if you are a Christian or your foundation is that, then you probably will have more in common with someone who loves the church or who loves the Lord, who loves the things that you love. You don't have to love everything I love, but we should have, the foundation should be there. I think it's harder if the foundation isn't there, not saying that it can't grow to where it needs to grow, but I think you got to start where we already are. And I think it might be a little bit harder, but with God, I mean, all things are possible, right?
Amen.
But I think the issue is, because my wife is really more in this than I am. She always tells our kids, you need to get to know somebody, because unless you know them, not just most of us can go for looks because visual is the first thing you see, but until you get to know them, because there's another thing. I mean, there's this thing I just read about this store that was selling this fruit or these vegetables that were they were all right, but they just didn't look good because people wouldn't buy them because they didn't look good. There was nothing wrong with the way they tasted or anything else, but they wouldn't buy them because they just didn't look perfect. So until you can get past how the people look and get to know them, you're going to, the initial thing, like anything else, you're going to go and look. I was just reading about, I can't remember the priest that went to finally had David as the king. He went to his father, David's father's oldest son first, and he looked good. Yeah. But he didn't have the substance, he didn't have the heart. So, it's more difficult as a single person meeting somebody and knowing their heart and knowing what they're about, as opposed to seeing them and say, he or she is really nice looking. So I wanted to get to know them. And then after you get to know them, they may not look so good on the inside.
Outstanding.
And we talked about not giving, and I think I do this a lot with especially with our daughters. Don't give your heart away, because once you give your heart away, love knows, what is it? Love knows no boundaries. No, love knows no. I can't even think of it. We used to say this little thing about love. Oh, love doesn't know right from wrong. Love is just love. So if you fall in love with somebody, I mean, they can be the worst criminal, but if you're in love with them, love is love.
That rose-colored glasses, as they say. Yeah. Love makes you blind. You can't see the bad character.
Absolutely.
And so is that why you think some girls like the bad boys?
Oh, absolutely. Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, okay. With divorce being at an all-time high and marriage rates slowing, how do you avoid divorce?
I think part of it is not going and looking at, okay, if this doesn't work out, I can always leave. Or
I wasn't planning on going back home. I don't know if he had planned on or not, but I had already decided a long time ago. Divorce is just not, I don't think it's in our vocabulary, not saying that people.
That was me. I wasn't planning on going back home. I thought, we go work this out because I am not going back home. I'm with her. When they said to death do us part, it's going to be exactly that because I ain't going back home.
That's funny.
Well, because some people divorce because of reasons that are not in their control. So divorce happens. We know divorce happens. But as for us, we're not trying to manufacture something for divorce, that we're not planning for divorce, and we're not hyphenating names, and not mean that a hyphenated name means you're going to get a divorce, but there are things that just kind of put a little in the marriage. Do you not trust me because you have a what is it? The thing where you divided up your money already and divided up everything already. Prenuptial. And if you want a prenuptial, that's fine. But it just, to me, you need to have that trust first.
But again, the bottom line is, if you don't know them well enough, you cannot hurry your relationship with any individual. I mean, you have to. Unfortunately, you have to know more about them than you probably may or may not. You may be willing to invest the time to get to know before you decide to marry them.
Yeah, and you're learning all the time, every day, or every other day.
And people change. Basic things don't change, but people change over time.
Absolutely, yeah.
How are you going to be when you're under stress? How are you going to be when everything's relaxed and chill? So when everything's good, you're great, but if you get stressed out, I get stressed out, I turn into that beast or whatever.
So would you say you need to see people in every emotion in life?
Yeah.
Yes, you do. You need to see them as they are, as they're going to be encountering instances in life, unfortunately. So.
And pay attention. Pay attention to the little things. How do they treat their mom, their dad, their sisters, their brother? How do they treat people just when you're out together? Are they polite? Are they nice? What kind of people are they? Because
that's a good question, Mom. How did you pay attention to how Dad treated other people, like how he treated Gwen and everybody else?
Yeah, well, yeah, because when I met Roy, when he took me to his mom's house, because they called their mama Mule, and I could tell. I mean, because how she had that garden. Like when you would first go up the steps, and the garden was over to the right.
That garden was big as hell too.
I know, I missed that.
Yeah, I missed
and
that.
He would go over there and he helped her dig up stuff and plant stuff. And I mean, he loved his mom, because I told you he never knew his dad, so he loved his mom.
And that's actually something I actually just learned recently, y'all.
Yeah, he never knew his dad, and as well, he loved his older brother, and Gwen was like 6 years younger than him, but once me and him got married, Gwen and Ellis got married right before we did, and the four of us did everything together. So Roy loved his family. I mean, Eleanor and them when they were kids when we got married, but he loved all of them. Roy loved that they had a big family. You know how he loved to have gatherings and stuff. And I love that about him because I thought, I could see the way he treated his mom and stuff. So, you have to pay attention to that, how they relate to, because they always say if a guy loves his mom, you don't have to worry about him. He's a good guy, and he loved his mom. I thought myself, that's one thing I never had to doubt. I knew he loved his mom.
Because that's what's in them, it's going to come out. So
what they are when they don't think anybody's looking.
Yeah.
Ooh, I like that. So if you're out on a date and they're rude to the waiter or waitress.
Yeah, that's a clue.
Yeah, that's probably a clue.
Yeah, it's a clue.
That's what I call the Scooby-Doo effect. They're one way when you're dating, and as soon as you get married, then the mask comes off.
The mask comes, yeah.
So again, goes back to we have to have a better idea, know what we're not buying somebody, but know what you're buying, what you're purchasing, what you're getting, you're going to get.
No surprises.
Well, there's always going to be surprises because we're human. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, try to minimize them, but
Yeah.
things happen. Not things happen. It's life. We're
It's
people.
life. Yeah. We're humans.
Okay. We're going to talk about some effective communication. How do you discuss or give feedback about something that you don't like without arguing? You kind of mentioned earlier, ma'am, about the tone of what you say things and not repeating yourself. So how would you, if you would like to elaborate, how would you discuss or give feedback to something that you don't like without it turning into a full-blown argument?
You're going to start.
I don't know. Like you said, it's difficult. Again, it's difficult.
Hold on, what? Can I adopt your mom? What? Oh my goodness. I think they like you, Mom. Oh my goodness. That's funny.
Difficult. You have to. You can't keep the emotion out of it, but you have to. Again, we have to try to choose our words. We have to try to convey the feelings that we have, and not the end without so much of the emotion. I mean, it's not easy. It's something, especially if it's something that you're upset about or
Hey,
something
Jerome.
that you don't think your spouse is listening to.
What'd you say?
Sometimes an argument is a good thing. Sometimes an argument is a good thing. Because it is so much fun making up.
Mhm. Oh Lord. Lord. Ma, come on. Don't do it. Why you gotta do this to me?
Sometimes you just need to take time and think about what you're trying to say and maybe approach it sometime a little bit later when you're maybe not all into it with your emotions.
Taking the time out, maybe calm down.
But you can't you just you can't always just let it go. Hope it's going to go away. So.
Okay.
Yeah. Exactly. I think that's what we do.
Yeah, most of the time.
Yeah, most of the time. Not all the time, but most of the time we do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. How did you learn your spouse? I.e., is it their morning routine? How did you like their preference in coffee, and how did you learn them?
Why you looking at me? You go first.
Well, you pay attention to them for one thing, and then it's really simple. Ask them what, did you like that? I bake some food and cook some food sometime, and I say, well, how did you like that? And he may say, well, that wasn't quite that great, or, oh, I really loved it. And so if he says he loves it, then I'm probably going to do that again. But if he say, well, not so good, I'm probably not going to try to do that again. So, you really have to you really need to ask the question. I mean, we ask other people stuff. Why can't we ask our spouse?
Yeah.
So with that, I have to go back to the previous question. If he tells you that he didn't like the way you cooked a meal, how did you not take that so offensive to stop cooking at all?
I know I can. Well, I knew I couldn't cook that, but I know there are other things that I can cook that he does like. So to me, I guess I don't get really bent out of shape over that's small stuff. To me, that's small stuff. I don't have time nor the energy to worry about one thing he didn't like when there were quite a few things I know he does like.
Yeah. Well,
so yeah.
And again, it depends. If that becomes a constant thing that every time she cooks something or every time I do something, then it becomes an issue. So, and it goes back to we need to know our spouses, and we need to be able to communicate, and we need to be able to do that in a manner that's not always going to be fighting or offensive, and that we can somehow come to a resolution of things, which is the difficult part for most marriages, because I don't like being wrong. I don't like being wrong. I don't know about everybody else, but I don't like being wrong. So maybe it's because I'm a guy, but it's like I don't want to be wrong a lot. So, and that's something that pride or that arrogance that you have to check a lot.
I like that, because I've talked to married people before, and they've said, "Oh, they complained about the way I cooked the meal, so I stopped cooking altogether."
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
like,
No.
geez.
Yeah, I think that's just a cop out. Just something you
Yeah.
probably didn't want to do anyway.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, again, supposedly we all claim we love each
Love
other.
each other.
I love you
More than anything.
more than anything. But I won't share my I won't share my sandwich with you.
Yeah.
I won't share my drink with you. I would die for you, but I won't give you a piece of my cake.
Awesome. How did your spouse's faith or their background affect your selection of him and of her? How did their faith or their background, how they grew up, have an impact?
I don't think really how she grew up, but again, more the faith, their interaction with the community, the things she did, her background. You know, we've both been in the military, so trying to find somebody with similar black backgrounds. You know, in theory, you have some of the same core values.
Yeah. Yeah. Met in church.
Yeah. Participated in Black
Participated
History
in
Month.
Black History Month.
That's
Participated in
wrong.
church. Participated in, I mean, the same thing.
Yeah.
Did you know that I joined church because of your dad?
Hold on, really?
Yeah, because growing up, we went to church with people, but my mama and Pap, they didn't really make us go to church. We just went to the neighborhood churches, because a bunch of the kids would get up and we just go to church. But I didn't belong to any church. And when I met your dad, he was going to St. Mary's, and so he invited me to go with him. And because that's how I started going to St. Mary's and got baptized. It's because he was already a member of the St. Mary's and baptized. Yeah, because I tell people, I said, I really found religion through Roy. It's like, because I grew up not, mama and them didn't make us go to church and stuff.
Damn. Okay. I didn't know that. Huh.
I mean, you didn't pick me up at the club, or I didn't pick you up at the club. Not saying that would be a bad thing, because hey, maybe the church folks going to the club. I don't know, but that's not where we met. I'm just saying. So, and I think we already had things in common, and then we got to know each other, and we had more things in common.
Getting to know each other, yeah.
Yeah. And then what really is interesting to me is the longer we're married, the more I see things we haven't even discussed. We listen to it on TV, and I go, oh my God, I'm thinking the same way he's thinking, because then we talk about it, it's like, we were thinking the same way. We have the same,
similar,
values and thought processes. Yeah.
So that leads also to trust,
Yeah.
They say typically when women say to the guy, I can't trust you, it's about infidelity. And when men say to the wife, I can't trust you, it's about decision making and thought processing.
Oh.
So if you're thinking about the same way, or your problem solving skills are in alignment, would you say it the same, or any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I would say that's again, like you say, it all goes back to, there's undoubtedly a scripture that addresses that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Being of one mind and one spirit.
Yeah.
How did your spouse's parents have an impact or an effect on your decision to marry their child?
Yeah, I would say yes. Yeah. Well, from the standpoint that the way I was raised, I knew the kind of person that I would want to marry. And so he was that kind of person. His parents had raised him that way. So you could see how they had raised him. So you knew something about him and something about his values, just how he carried himself, what he did, what he didn't do, how he talked to you, how he opened the door for you, how he walked you to the door, things like that. He didn't sit in the car and blow his horn for you to come out and get in the car. It was just different, things like that. So
That's awesome. And you, sir? Her background, her parents, did that have any impact?
The background, not more so the parents. I mean, I can't really say it was traditional where things like you need to get the father's approval or anything, but I mean, I met her parents. To me, it wasn't really an impact or anything, but again, it depends on the people. I personally am not really a type of people person, so to me, it didn't really have that much of an impact.
Awesome. How did you all agree on raising children?
And I think, again, we both had the same idea or same thoughts about disciplining, about what we needed to do for the kids. And I more so, I had some ideas, but I think her as a woman was more nurturing and loving than I was. There's a lot I learned about raising kids from watching things that she did. So, and trying to implement them, because I'm not much of a talker, which you probably don't believe, but I talked about kids, but I didn't realize how important it was that even though, they don't want to, may or may not want to hear it, at least at least they've heard it. So it's not something that they go out and go, well, I didn't know about that because nobody ever told me about it. So, but I think it was in agreement, the values we had that were the same as far as child rearing, educating our kids, disciplining our kids, loving our kids, helping them to participate in different activities and being involved with them was something that's very important for both of us.
Yeah. And one of the things, because Cecil doesn't do a lot of talking, one of the things that I always felt was important to do was for the kids to know that regardless of what decision was made, we made the decision.
Yeah.
And regardless of what we were doing, we were doing it. And also to let them know you can't go to him and get something or come to me and get something. You're going to have to come to us.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Outstanding. So what would you say are some challenges of raising children with all this technology and the influence of friends? Our kids didn't have phones. So we didn't really have the technology when we were growing up. So, but
yeah.
I think we'd probably be like, some of the other people, like, Gates, his kids didn't get phones. Our kids they would get a phone. It'd be the phone that they had and shared with us.
Yeah.
We would do what we could, to influence them not to be on social media, not to try to do things. Because I know the big important thing for us, whenever our kids went out, I said, you guys need to plan on what you're doing. Because if you don't, somebody's going to come up with a great, meaning stupid idea, and nobody's going to have anything else to do. And that's what you guys are going to end up doing. And somebody's going to get hurt or, put in jail or whatever, or, get arrested for stuff. So that's something we all agreed on. You need to have a plan for whatever you're doing.
Yeah. And social media is good, but social media, you can't take up all of your time. You can't spend all your time on social media.
Yeah.
So and even now that they're grown, when we go down there, we talk about, our kids are normally not on the phone when we're visiting, It did happen once, and it's like, well, we're visiting, you're on the phone, that's kind of disrespectful. So that didn't happen again, but you need to talk to your kids. They need to know, that, I'm visiting you. I want you to share your time with me. But yeah.
So even while they're growing, you're still mentoring them.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You didn't just cut them off and say, let them loose.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Nope.
That's awesome. When you don't get your way, how do you compromise when you have any differences without feeling that you've lost?
Compromises, by definition, you're not going to get your way. So, you don't, but again, it's the best solution. Yeah. The best solution for the math majors, optimal solution.
I like that.
So neither one of you is going to get whatever everything you want, and neither one of you is going to lose all the stuff you didn't want to lose. I mean, it's you can't. Neither one of us. Nobody has their way all the time.
Yeah.
So you need to, like say, put on your big girl panties and say, okay, this is actually best for our family. It's not. I mean, I don't like it. I don't feel like whatever, but this is actually what's going to be best for our family, for our relationship, for our kids. It's not. You keep saying that. It's a compromise. I mean, you're not going to get. Nobody ever gets everything they want.
And then sometimes, like for our anniversary, every 5 years we go somewhere and we renew our vows. But you pick, and then I pick, and then we just change. We both get a chance to pick. We have some options, and you get to make the final say on, okay, we're going to do that this time, and then next time it's like, okay, I'm going to pick.
And I think that's another thing about compromising. You both need to.
You know what? That's a good question. Mom, when all those trips out of town, how was y'all picking those, and who was picking them? Like, how did y'all do? How did y'all go about that?
Well, a lot of the trips, like when Gwen and them were in the bowling tournament, the city was already picked. So all we had to do was pick where we were going to stay and book our flights. But now when it was just the family stuff, I don't know, we usually decided, we just sit and talk like where we want to go, where haven't we been? And like when you and Ronisha were young, your dad just loved to go to places that had a beach. So that's how we ended up. Because, your dad was more for the water than I was. And that's how we ended up at Myrtle Beach and Virginia Beach.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's why I like being by the water then.
Yeah. That was his thing. But, I was like, once I got there, then I would have a good time, so, yeah, because, Gatlinburg was both our, if you say Gatlinburg, either one of us is like, yes, because, that was our trip every October, but like down to Virginia Beach and Myrtle Beach, that was more your dad is like, we need to go somewhere where there's a beach. Okay, so then I would take a look at, how about this, how about that? Because he liked going places where they would have stuff for y'all to do. Because, Myrtle Beach, we had a good time.
Man.
Yeah.
Fun.
Yeah, that was a good time. So, yeah. But the other trips was always, the city was already picked by the Bowling Association. So we just flew wherever they went. Because, for a long time, I think we went to Reno 3 times. Yeah. And one time we missed a flight and they put us on another. I didn't even know it was a Northwest airline. And we flew over Vegas. That's how I knew I wanted to go to Vegas. Because when I seen Vegas, I was like, you can sit Reno right in the middle of it. So, like, yeah, and when your dad seen it, that was it. I'm like, oh yeah.
Be able to make some decisions or have an agreement that, okay, yeah, I picked the restaurant last time, or I did whatever last time. If you want to pick this time, that's fine.
Or a movie,
or
a television show, or
And again, in actuality, we're spending time together, so we need to learn how to get along and be able to get along and enjoy the company. I need to be able to enjoy some of the things that she likes to enjoy. She needs to be able to enjoy the things I like to enjoy. I mean, not all the time, but again, there's a feeling that, like I say, if it's important to me, if it's important to her, then it should be somewhat important to me, and vice versa.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna tell you I like it all the time, and he probably don't like it all
Hey,
the time.
Jerome.
But hey, that's where we are. So
I like.
Okay, me, you got to be careful of that because when me and your dad first got married, I ain't watch football. But we only had one TV, so on Sundays we watch football. So I'm thinking, well, I'm gonna sit here for 3 hours. I might as well learn how to what they doing. Then once I got it, you know, you know how I am about football, bro. Your dad probably thinking, I wish I had never let her sit and watch because I be screaming and yelling at the TV. So sometimes men got to be careful with like, well, I want you to sit here and watch football with me and learn about football because sometimes women turn into football demons.
Oh shit, that's funny.
That, especially how you said, sir, you picked the restaurant this time, maybe let her pick the restaurant last time. So you're not quite keeping score, if you will, but you're trying to be considerate of, I don't want to hog all the decisions.
Yeah, I don't want to be I'm not the sole decision maker.
Yeah, you're not.
I'm not the restaurant picker all the time.
So what I gather from both of you, especially how you said your decision is what's best for the family. So would you say that did you choose your battles wisely? What's worth arguing about? What's not worth arguing about?
I think, yeah, most of the time, yeah.
Most of the time.
Yeah, most of the time, yeah. Yes, I mean, it's like anything else. Sometimes, like, it's something you're really upset, hot about. It's like you think you need to. They say, I need to win this battle.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So not too, you're not always wise, and hopefully, prayerfully afterwards, you come back and say, that was something I shouldn't have done, and I want to apologize. I'm sorry.
So would you say that some things are worth having that argument? For example, picking a restaurant, having a salad, maybe not worth arguing about, but 401ks, investments, retirement plans, those are kind of major things.
But see, for us, we don't argue about investments and 401s or anything like that because he is a math major and I basically go with, this is what we're doing. And then we keep up with, how things are going. But sometimes you argue about stuff that's it's not even major, but at the time it's major. I can't think of anything right now, but that's not something we argue about. It's I don't know.
Okay.
I can't think of anything.
Again, sometimes the times you argue are about those things that you think you have a personal stake in, that it's important to you, that
And you can't
may
do
not
it,
feel, and you can't do it, or you may not feel
Yeah.
your wife, your spouse, or I won't let her do it, or whatever.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, and normally it's just for whatever reason.
Yeah. But right now, I can't think of.
No, you don't normally, again, because again, we try, and again, we're not successful all the time, but we want to try to keep in mind, you're trying to do what's best for you and your spouse as a family. Because in theory, we love each other, so we are supposed to be not trying to hurt each other.
I like that. Awesome. Now we're going to talk about money.
Fine, we love to talk about money.
Why do you think money is the number one cause of divorce in America? You think it's because people don't have enough? Is it that unwillingness to compromise my way? Oh, he didn't buy me no NARS makeup and wigs. Oh, he didn't buy me no nails.
Again, it goes back to what we're talking about before. That's what they want, you want. I mean, who has, most people who has enough money? I mean, the billionaires want more, the millionaires want more, we all want more money. Who has enough money? I mean, we're not, again, that goes back to being satisfied. So if you and your spouse are satisfied where you are financially and with the things that your resources put together could get for both of you, it may not be an issue. But if you're not satisfied, again, I think there's a scripture about that, about being satisfied.
Yeah,
I think the chaplain talked about that.
Those
Yeah.
who love money never have enough.
Yeah. Because the love of money.
Hold on. Run that back.
Huh?
Now I wanted to read that.
issue.
What
But
was
if
it?
you're not satisfied, again, I think there's a scripture about
Oh,
What-
Ecclesi-
Whoever loves money never has enough. Whoever loves wealth is never satisfied with their income. This too is meaningless.
which basically means you ain't taking this with you. That's why I say enjoy the money you have, travel, have a good time, because you ain't taking none of this with you. So, but I just don't understand like these millionaires and billionaires. You can only buy so much. I mean, Jerome, you know, right now we got plenty of food in the refrigerator. I thought myself, when you go to the store, you ain't buying a whole lot because there's a whole lot already in here.
Yeah, all I did was get fruit.
So that's what I'm saying. I'm gonna take out that.
And some
I'm
more
gonna take out that salmon tomorrow. I'm like, so that's my thing. I thought, you know, to be acting like they gotta have 10 houses. You can only live in that one house at a time. That's
Yeah,
stupid.
I never understood that.
Me neither. I'm like,
And
no.
then the people that got like 5-10 cars, like I always thought that was ridiculous too. Like now I could understand having two,
Yeah,
you know, because just in case if one goes down for a while, you got that other one.
exactly.
You feel me? Like I can understand having two because I would love to have two one day just for the sake of doing that. But outside of that,
Yeah, because
it doesn't make much sense to me. It just seems like a waste of money. Like you just trying to flex. Unless you're buying stuff that's gonna
like classic cars.
like classic stuff that you can go back and sell for more money later on. Other than that, you wouldn't do that.
About being satisfied. I think the chaplain talked about that.
Those who love money never have enough.
Yeah. Because the love of money is the root of all evil.
Yeah,
and that's what it is. The love.
It's an idol. So, but you have to. You're not gonna. We in our positions, none of us are in the position. Even the billionaires. I mean, they don't. Do they have enough money? I mean, what do they need more money for?
But you know what? I think it's not even the money. I think it's trusting each other with whatever money we do have. Yeah, I think it's about the trust. Can I trust you that we have this money in investments and whatever? Can I trust you to do the right thing by me with the money? And I think it goes back to trust.
Yeah.
I think a big part of that is trust. Because if you can't talk about the money and how you want to spend it, if you got to go and buy shoes and throw them in the closet and you can't tell your husband you spent money but I do think that everybody should have some money that they don't have to go, and I don't have to go and ask Cecil, well, can I spend this $100? Because we already know, well, you can spend this 100 or 200 or whatever, your own little play money, but the money is, and that's still our money, because even though I may have the money, your name is on the account. My name is not on one account and your name is on another account. Our names are on all the accounts, but I still have money that I don't have to come to him every time and say, well, can I spend this? And the same way with him. So it's not like you're tied down to the money, but you trust each other.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I like that. You brought up a story that I heard where a guy had about $200,000 that he saved up before he met his wife. And when he got married, he added her to the account like a good husband should. She took all of the money and paid off her student loans without telling him.
yeah, bad.
Yeah. There was another situation
Is she still living?
I already knew you was about to go off when you heard that shit. Yo.
I mean, like, for real? Is she still living? Jerome, how you do that?
I'm weak as hell.
Oh my God.
She's still living?
Oh my God. I'm like, hey, oh Lord. Hey, see. I'm like, no. He should have He should have set up another account. That 200,000, keep it in his name and keep his mouth shut. and then set up another account for the household account. Because that way you won't have to kill her.
Yo, we could say.
A woman was a stay-home wife, and husband was working 12, 14-hour shifts for like 6 days a week. She took part of all of the money that was coming in and opened up a separate bank account
Yeah. It's
only in
trust.
her name
Yeah.
as an escape fund
Yeah.
in case
Yeah.
of a divorce.
Yeah.
Okay, so we talked about the wealthy side, but what do you think about young folks, especially if they're in their 20s getting married and maybe they don't have enough money and they're arguing about bills and how are we going to pay this? What wisdom would you give for them to avoid divorce?
They need to come to an agreement on what they're going to do with the money. Because again, if they combine their money, they're going to have more than if they separate it. So they're going to have to, if they have a bunch of bills, again, you need to know who you're getting married. And if you're going to take on a husband that has a bunch of bills or a wife that has a bunch of bills, you need to realize that that's your debt. So you guys need to have a plan on how you're going to, again, it sounds real fun, but it's probably going to be hard because there's going to be some things both of you guys are going to have to do without.
Seriously? Jamal, seriously? If you you get engaged to somebody and they got a lot of debt, we'll get married after you pay off your debt. I'm like, come on, people, be logical. I'm not marrying you. You done ran up credit cards and stuff, and then when we get married, well, you got no, sweetie. I tell you what, we'll stay engaged until you pay off that debt. Let me know when it's done. Because that's nuts.
Because in order to pay off your debt, there are things you're going to have to do. And they're probably not going to be pleasant, but I don't understand. But you need to understand that one person or the other was probably living with that debt before they got married. So, and what were they doing? Again, what were they doing? And were they communicating to you that they had an issue with money that you guys were going to need to come to an agreement upon before you got married?
And don't live above your means.
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't
if
you don't live above your means, you're probably going to be all right. As a matter of fact, wherever you are, even if you can be there, just kind of be a little bit below that. Just be there.
For real, Mom, I think that's one of the problems that some of these women don't want to admit. I think some of these women are living well over their means. They be driving too much.
Well, you know how I always tell you when I see them with these, especially with the ones you know that ain't got good jobs. Now, Dynasty the other night had a Louis Vuitton bag, but Dynasty has a PhD in nursing. Like she's over the nurses. So
Right.
she don't have a husband. She don't have kids. Dynasty can buy a Louis Vuitton bag because she got money. She used to work hard. She went in the Air Force, took up nursing, and she done worked hard to get where she at. But these girls walking around here with this Louis Vuitton and Gucci bags and stuff, you pay that much money for a bag, and you ain't got that much money sitting in the bank. You only got $10 sitting in that purse. That is stupid to me. I'm going to go buy me a $30 purse so I can have $300 in it. That make more sense to me. Because I'm thinking myself, I don't care what nobody say nothing about my purse. Jerome, that little red purse I've been carrying around, I done got more compliments. That came from Temu. So see,
Mm-hmm.
it don't matter.
Yeah, she had me rolling, Black Bro. She said she's still living. Crying, bro.
You know, have a savings, have investments, be able to have some money that you can spend that you don't have to answer to anybody on. And what we do, the budget meetings, you know,
Yeah,
you got to be able to
definitely.
talk about that money.
I
Yeah.
didn't like the budget meeting.
He didn't like the budget
I didn't like the
meeting.
budget meeting. But yeah, I'm coming to
Yeah.
slowly
And-
coming to realize how
yeah.
important it
Yeah.
is to know where your money is,
Yeah.
how it's being spent, how it's being saved.
And this is one thing we had a problem with
Yeah,
but we have been married like 10 years, 15 years,
it wasn't that long, but
because we were blessed to have money, right? You know, already when we got married, if something like, say, the car needed to be fixed, Cecil would tell me like, what?
the day before.
The day before.
Yeah.
So yeah. Well, we gotta fix the car. Well, we have the money in the savings. Yeah, we have the money in the savings, but it's like, yeah, but we need to plan, you know, we need to plan ahead, or we have the money, but that money was for savings. And if you're just spending it every time, you know, and so it's like, although you have the money, you still need to have a plan.
You need a plan. Yeah.
Yeah, for the money.
And that goes back to like most everything. I mean, we need the plan. And
Yeah.
again, the master planner is the father. So, I mean,
Yeah.
if you're involving him in your planning, his plans are always good.
Mhm. Awesome. You all talked about budgeting, and that's a key thing. You talked about, I would say, sacrificing the wants versus the needs. You can't have this month. We can't have a steak every night. You got to have chicken. And you talked about the background. You said, what are they showing you while you're dating? So would you say that their credit score is important before you get married and combine resources? Knowing what their habits are financially, would you say that's an important factor?
I'm not sure about the credit score because that's kind of like a personal thing, but you still need to have an idea of, again, their character.
It's credit score now.
It's credit score now?
Yeah, back in the day, it wasn't credit score. To me, it was.
See how she think like me? I was just like her. Oh no. Nowadays, you need to know the credit score.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
because that credit score get you in some doors.
I thought myself, back in the day, we ain't even know nothing about no credit scores. We ain't care. But since things are so different nowadays, I thought, Jerome, I know too many men my age who credit scores are in the 500s.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what have you been doing your whole life? Like, don't be talking about how you doing. I'm doing fine because I got a good credit score. Bye, boy.
Shit.
Wasn't credit score back in the day. It was. I mean, I think you kind of pay attention to, you know, how somebody's living if you really pay attention to them. But credit score, yeah, I think credit score. I think that's a conversation you should have.
Well, yeah, it's a conversation, but you
Yeah.
shouldn't be on like, I did a credit check on you.
Well, no, I'm not saying you go and do a credit
Oh,
check.
that's what I thought you meant.
No.
It would kind of tell you their
Yeah.
previous habits. And
Well,
they
you
have
would
an
hope.
IRS lien.
Yeah, but you would hope
They
that
would
you
tell
have
you.
a relationship
That
because
they
you're
would
not
tell
gonna
you, yeah.
you're not gonna go out with somebody one day and say, oh, by the way, let me check out your credit score or anything. But when you get to know this person, you're going to get to the credit and the finances and all this stuff. Remember, our daughter said she crunched the numbers.
Yeah.
She's dating this guy, and she said, "Oh, we crunched the numbers this month, and we have enough money to go to the movies." And I'm listening, like, crunch the numbers, but yeah. So yeah,
They
So-
had their budget meeting.
yeah,
Their budget meeting.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
good. All right. How do you avoid being selfish in your marriage? Some of these you guys have already talked about, but if there's anything you want to elaborate, how do you avoid being selfish? Just me, me, me. I think we kind of covered that.
Because sometimes I don't avoid being selfish.
Yeah.
Sometimes we are selfish.
Okay.
Again,
Go ahead.
again, that's part of the compromise stuff. I mean, sometimes I'm gonna get what I want. Sometimes she's gonna get the stuff. I mean, so is that selfish?
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, you're working it out as a team. I think we kind of talked about this too, so forgive me if this is redundant. How do you manage arguments without being angry? How do you control those emotions?
Yeah.
She done went shopping, she done bought these shoes, and I done found them, she hid them from me. She done hit something again. He went golfing again. He didn't even tell me. I'm just making up stuff.
Yeah, I know.
Things that are usually a flashpoint. He bought a Harley. He done bought a new gun. He got enough guns.
Y'all need to discuss that. That should have been discussed. It should have been discussed a long time ago on how, and I think we talked about this, about laying out a plan for spending your money, but then you're going to have some money yourself. Like if I buy shoes, it's because I have said, well, see, I saw these shoes that I want to get, and so I'm going to get these, or I'm going to put them on the credit card, but I have that money because I've been looking at those shoes. Even though I know I don't need the shoes, I want the shoes. So I think it's a matter of being, again, honest with each other and not hiding. Because once you start hiding anything,
Once you start losing the trust,
it's the
becomes
trust.
a big issue.
Yeah, I think it's a trust.
So you would say that proper planning will prevent argument.
No.
Proper planning will prevent future fights. No.
I think, again, the more you know about stuff, there's probably less chance that you're going to have an argument about it.
Yeah.
But if it's something, I mean, you having a bad day or whatever, I mean, something happened. I think more so not just the planning, is more so being aware of what may trigger you or why you're being triggered on something.
And then grace.
Yeah.
I mean, you give me grace. And normally if you're giving grace, you reciprocate. So yeah, I think it's just grace. I mean, we give other people grace, especially strangers.
Yeah, more so than our spouses.
Yeah.
I like that. I've heard somebody else say that to a preacher. How do you manage your personal hobbies or your free time without your spouse feeling neglected?
Oh, that's pretty easy, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, unless it's something that we have to do on our own, we involve our spouses. So I'm not have to do, or they may not want to do, or whatever. So it's like, yeah, I want to go. Say I want to go play golf. I don't play golf. So I'm gonna go. I've set up for shooting. Yeah, I go to the range and go shooting. Like, okay, don't kill yourself.
Yeah, he lets me know. First of all, he lets me know, like, yeah, I'm going to the range, and normally not that day, well in advance. So it's like, okay, and we will calendar people. So we have a calendar. We know what we're doing. We have a calendar every month, and we take turns making sure that we put on the calendar. We try to put as much stuff on there, especially with the sorority and the fraternity, and then, and the church and PWC and our kids and all that stuff. So we put it on the calendar, and we even discuss the calendar about, okay, I got this going, like even doctor's appointments, because we try to go with each other to doctor's appointments so that we can listen to what they're saying, because, the two of us together, we're more likely to get it right. So yeah, but we keep
scripture about it.
Yeah, but we keep a calendar. Yeah.
But what was the question? Is that the question again?
The question is, how do you manage your personal hobbies or your free time without your spouse feeling neglected?
And I don't feel neglected when you go out and shoot or be out with your frat brothers or whatever, because I know that while you're doing what you're doing, and I don't feel like you're doing anything that's disgraceful or anything like that. I feel like you're doing something for betterment for yourself, for your community. So that doesn't bother me. Now, if you were out hanging out at a club or hanging out at a joint, what they call it, that thing, whatever that, hanging out with a bunch of women, oh yeah, it'd be a problem. But because you already told me what you were doing, I trust that you are doing that.
And you have to trust that they're doing
that. Yeah. And then I do me and he does him as far as things, because there are some things we do together, but there are things we can't do together. He can't go to my sorority meeting. I can't go to his fraternity meeting. So again, it goes back to that trust. or
like
even
that.
afterwards when you go to dinner, that you're going to do what you say you're going to do when you're at dinner with your friends. So, hey.
Okay. So talk about that work-life balance, because you talk about, yes, this and that, and maybe I got to work late or maybe I got to travel for work. How do you all manage your work-life balance? Different organization, this and this, but do you guys said, okay, well, we're going to make sure we date this time, this date, we're going to come together, or
Yeah.
do you have a designated date night, or?
We don't really have a designated. We used to, when the kids were growing up, we would have game night with the family. It would be game night. But since they've been grown, we don't have a designated date night. But what we do, I think we make time for each other. There are television shows that we already know we want to watch as a couple. I already know he's going to bring me gelato and we're going to sit here at 7:00 and watch the show, or next Saturday, we know we're going to do this. Cause again, we have a calendar.
Yeah.
And so we know what we're going to be doing.
No, I think, no, we don't really have jobs anymore, but things we do during the day. You have a job.
I have a job.
But at a certain time, we know it's time to get off the computer, or whatever. It's time to come together and fellowship. We mainly watch TV or whatever, or occasionally we play games. But we spend that time together and talk. So
That's a good answer. I like that. Thank you. With this work-life balance, these are impromptu. Very often it is said that a lot of people work longer hours or work longer after they're even able to retire because they don't want to go home.
Yep.
How do you have that welcoming environment? How do you create an environment at home that you want to come home and be with each other instead of avoiding each other? How do you do that?
I mean, like, again, there has to be a relationship with the spouse, because if there's not, or if there's animosity, if you don't want to go home because you don't like what your spouse is doing or trying to get you to do, trying to change you or whatever, and there's things you don't want to do, there's no agreement, there's discord. Yeah.
Some would say there's just more peace at the bar.
Yeah.
Or that I would just rather stay in my office and keep on working till 8, 9, 10 o'clock because at least I have peace.
Yeah.
And so I'll just stay here at work until she's probably in bed.
Yeah.
How do you create that welcoming environment? How do you become each other's peace?
Well, first of all, you have to truly be honest with each other about what really hurts you or what really is important to you. Like I don't know if you heard of the 5 Love Languages. It's the book, The 5 Love Languages. I do a lot of reading. I love to read about marriage. To me, it's like, it's so important to learn so that we can work out things that we may not have thought about. But I think what I try to do is make it where it's like, yeah, I can't wait to get home,
Yeah.
And then he'll tell me about his day. Because even when we were working and when we were active duty, it was even more imperative that we didn't hang out at the happy hour. We just couldn't do that,
Yeah. But one important thing is, like, before, when she retired, I was still working. When I come home, she wouldn't immediately come in and start telling me stuff. She'd let me come home.
Oh, yeah.
Let me do some stuff, decompress from work, and then we would get into, talking about our days or talking about stuff that was more. It wasn't as soon as I got home, you got to start doing stuff. Let me come home. I've been working all day. She's been or when she was working all day. We need a little time to decompress. We need a little time to, because of the change in environment. Being at work, you don't have that, or shouldn't have those personal relationships as you have with your spouse. So things are more surface, or not, you can do whatever with them, as opposed, you can't really do that you shouldn't be doing that to your spouse, because again, you're supposed to love them.
Right. I think that's good information, because you were both high-ranking military officers. And so you had to learn to turn it off for a second. Like, I'm going home. It's time to just be me.
Exactly. Yeah. No, we didn't salute or pull rank, or we really, I mean, we talked about work, but it was not from the standpoint of what we did, more so as to just to be able to talk to somebody that you could honestly trust to give you a good answer, not just an answer because they feel like, oh, well, I better give you what you want to hear, you know. So, yeah.
I like what you said there. You didn't pull rank at home, because there are a lot of military couples where I outrank you.
Yeah.
And so what advice would you tell those folks? Or if they're saying, well, my rank is higher than yours, what advice would you give them?
Don't do it.
Yeah.
I mean, what are you winning?
Yeah.
I mean, what is your goal in pulling rank on your spouse?
And
Are
really,
you trying to subjugate them? I mean, what is the goal?
you're one.
And
You're one anyway.
One. Yeah. So, I mean, what is your goal in doing that?
Because people do that now. They'll ask us, like, we're both retired. So they'll say, well, what was your rank? And then they'll say, well, what was his rank? And then I have to bring them back to it. It all goes, because they're mostly talking about money. It all goes into the same pot. And then the other thing is, and I think women, especially women who are in the era of men can't tell me what to do, feel like, oh, you let your husband be the head of the house. My husband is the head of the household. And I think that goes back to my upbringing, my foundation, my whatever. But I don't see a problem with my husband being who he is, because that's what he's supposed to be, you know?
And knowing that, okay, my wife outranks me. So, yeah, well, you salute your wife? I'm supposed to. She outranks me.
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm out in the public and she's in, and we're both in uniform, I'm supposed to render her a salute. Right. If I outranked her, she's supposed to render me a salute.
It's a courtesy.
It's a courtesy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
At home,
yeah, there is no rank.
no, there is a rank. I mean, but again, it's not a military rank. There's a rank structure for
Oh,
anything.
well, as far as you being being the head of the household.
But again, even the head of the household, he should have wise counsel.
Right.
A helpmate. So I mean, you're not head of the household doesn't mean you make all the decisions and do everything your way. It means you may have the final say as the head, but you're not the person that just does stuff because it's the way you want to do
it. And Mom, can I have you chime in on this? Because I think sometimes when this gets brought up in conversation a lot, I think women seem to get the impression that when men say that, because I'm glad that he kind of cleared this up. I think a lot of women get the impression that, especially like younger women, they get the impression that they don't think men want to include women in decisions.
Well,
I don't know why women get that impression when men say head of household and stuff like that.
yeah, because the man is the head of the household. That's just the way it is. But like he said, you give wise counsel. She's your wife is your helpmate. So that means you being head. I mean, that's like if you head of a corporation, you don't make all the decisions. You got people up under you that you call together to discuss things, and a decision is made, and then the CEO goes out and announces it. So that's the way the head of the household is. He don't know everything just because he's the head of the household. He gonna talk to his wife like, okay, well, we need to buy a new car, and we need to sit down and figure out how we gonna do this. And so she tell him how she feel. He, they back and forth, and then okay, this is what we gonna do. But like like they were saying, she said, it's in that era now where they talking about, I don't want a man telling me what to do. Well, and really, a lot of these women do not know how to sit down and have a discussion with a man. That's the thing. I'm thinking they're not included because they don't know how to sit down and have a discussion with him. And I'm thinking men,
You know what? Hey, you know what? I got. There is another saying that gets floated around a lot. I want to know what you think about this. women are taught what to expect from a man, but women are not taught what to or should I say, are not taught what to expect from women, or women are taught what to or how to treat a man, so to speak. Do you think it's any truth to that?
Yeah, kind of. Because really, like I told you, like my mom and dad being divorced, but when I looked at I knew that I didn't want that marriage because to me, there was too many outside people involved in their marriage. Pat wanted to go his way and run the streets and stuff. I mean, because he worked and brought the money home and stuff, and mama babysitter, so she made money, so we were taken care of. I mean, they both took good care of us, but the marriage was like they didn't do nothing together, and they were married for 20 years, and when I married Roy, I thought, no, it ain't gonna be like that. We gotta be together. When people see us, we won.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, me and Roy grocery shop together. Uh, the thing, like we would go shop for furniture. I'm walking around the store and stuff. That Roy would go get a seat. I had to laugh because he go get a seat. Because he'd be like, I'm not following her all around the store. And then when I see something, I go and get him. I'll be like, okay, Roy, tell me if you like this. And if he didn't like it, he gonna take another seat, and I keep walking around the store because that's just the way he was, Because he was like, I'm not following her around the store now. Just come and get me and I'll let you know if I like it or not. But I thought to myself, they make such a big deal of saying the man is the head of the household. I'm thinking to myself, well, when you out somewhere, don't you want that man to be standing out like I'm with him, not he with me? They just make such a big. I don't understand why they have so much trouble loving a man. I don't. And really, my mama truly loved my daddy. I know she did, and he loved my mama. They just didn't know how to leave outside people outside and be together. I'm like, I don't understand, because I thought to myself, I mean, your dad dead and gone almost 3 years. I still love your dad. I thought to myself, I loved hugging him. I loved dancing with him. I loved laughing with him. I thought, why is this? I loved cooking for him. I'm like, because your dad loves some chili. So I'm like to myself, I'm like, and I love when I cook something and he liked it. I just don't. I don't understand. I thought to myself, but if they put these damn phones down, that's the biggest problem. They say they see all this stuff on social media and they trying to follow it. That ain't you. Seriously, it ain't. I don't look at social media and be looking at that, be like, well, if I did this, I'd do that. I'm just me. And I'm thinking to myself, yeah, because if somebody get up in your face, don't you want your man to take up care of you? Don't you want your man to jump up and save you? Don't you want your man to fight for you, or you gonna be the man and do the fighting? What's up? I don't, and that's like when you go places now, and because back in the day, we would go places and it was couples. Now you go places and there's always a table of women.
I did a video about that not too long ago too.
And I'm thinking, y'all just and see if some man try to say something to him, then they girlfriend like, girl, not him. The man he just opened his mouth. Y'all don't know what's up. I'm just like, I don't know, Jerome. I'm just, and I can understand why you ain't married. I can understand, because seriously, I don't want no daughter-in-law that I'm gonna have to slap the shit out of. I don't.
Oh, God.
I'm, I'm impatient now, and I thought you coming with somebody and she lazy and I can't cook and I don't do this and I don't do that. See, I'm be those slap the shit out of her. And I'm thinking, and you know how the family you come from, you know how we cut people up.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so yeah.
That's why I ain't brought nobody home in a long time. Oh, Lord.
Yeah, but I thought that these women need to get over all that stuff and really these two people talking, they do have a religious background. And if you got God in your life, a lot of things do not bother you. And somebody saying a man is the head of the house would not bother you because you know that's the way it's supposed to be. So I thought myself, that's my thing. These chicks need to get into church. I thought myself, but if they don't want to go to regular church, maybe older pastors, there's Pastor Mike on TV, Rock City, and he tell them the same thing. He just do it in a way that's kind of hip hop like, but Pastor Mike don't play, and he tells them the same thing that these people talking about the man being the head of the house. He don't play that, and he tell these women, and the sooner y'all learn that, the better. Because he tell them in a minute, oh yeah, I'm the head of my house.
So, in other words, she didn't say, "Hey, you do the dishes tonight because I outrank you."
No.
That's the joke that some military folks say. At least I hope they're joking.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah.
So, what do you think, or what advice would you give to people who lord their accomplishments over people? Everything that their degree and their accomplishments, that becomes their personality, and they want to demean their partner to say that I'm better than you. What advice would you give them?
You're going to lose your partner. Well, you have already lost them. If you're doing that, you better change, because nobody should feel inferior to anybody. You know, it's just, I don't even see how you think that's going to work.
Yeah, and I mean, what objective are you trying? What are you trying to do?
Yeah.
What is the reason you're doing that? I mean, what benefit does that provide you to do that to your spouse?
But I think it's a character trait. I think it's a problem with the character, not so much. It doesn't matter if who you married to, you're going to think you're better or bigger or badder or whatever. So I think it's a character trait. You're going to have, and God has to work on that, because a husband, I can't change Cecil's character. Only God can do that. Mm-hmm. Cecil can't change my character. Only God can do that. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah.
I like that answer, because in the end, whatever accomplishments you have, it is for the partnership and not you individually.
Yeah. I mean, because if it's for you individually, why the heck are you married?
Yeah, why are you married?
Why are you with that person? I mean, it's all about you.
Yeah.
And they're not good enough for you.
They're not good enough for you. Yeah. So why'd you marry them? Why? And if you want them to feel that way, why would you want to? Again, everything goes back to supposedly, I love you so much I would die for you, but I treat you a certain way or whatever. I won't let you have a drink of my soda. I won't let you have a piece of my pie.
It's a form of abuse. Yeah. It's just a form of abuse to me. It's like, nobody should be treated that way. You wouldn't treat your kids that way. You wouldn't treat other people that way.
Well, yeah, you wouldn't treat other people that way, because they probably wouldn't let you treat them that way. Yeah. They would let you treat them that way.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much. This is going great. The next question: how important is physical intimacy in marriage?
You always look at the guys,
Tell the truth.
I think it's important. It's like anything else. I mean, and it depends on the person. She's more of a touchy-feely person than I am, but physical intimacy is important. So, and again, it's important that you have it with your spouse, because if you don't enjoy, either one of you don't enjoy physical intimacy, which is another aspect of it's an aspect of your marriage. And if you don't agree on that, there's going to be issues.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I certainly agree. I think it's important. I will say, I think for men, it's
Yeah, I
probably
think for men it's more important
But I do think that,
for most men.
yeah, but because of because of how important it is, I think we should try to understand each other's needs. Whether if my needs are not as great as yours, then we still need to understand each other's needs and try to fulfill those needs.
Mhm. So, what would you say to the neglectful spouse? Once a month, once every 2 months, once every 6 months. Some studies have even said that some marriages are only having intimacy once a year.
I don't know how they living.
that must be only with each other. I don't know, man. It's like
I
it
can't imagine.
again. I can't imagine that, but if
Javon,
that's
what
sufficient for them, I don't know what. Like,
Huh?
She said, I don't know how they live it.
Right.
What? She was quick on that one.
I mean,
Oh my
well, he said she the more affectionate one, so
She's like, what? I don't know how they live it. Something like that.
my wife always says, I don't know what their contract is. I don't know what level of intimacy they have. Maybe they have some issues with abuse or whatever that they have to work through. Or we don't know what's going on in their marriage.
Yeah.
But if that's something they're satisfied with, I mean, what can we say? It's their marriage.
Many people aren't satisfied.
Yeah,
And
I
some
wouldn't.
people say, well, I'm gonna stop asking because I already know what the answer is.
Yeah.
And that's for both genders.
Yeah.
There are some men who would neglect their spouse too. Go ahead.
Yeah, and that's a huge problem though,
Yeah, it is.
because if you're not intimate with your spouse, I feel like you are going to step outside the marriage, be it the woman or the man. I just believe that. I believe you would. I believe your temptations would be greater.
Probably greater.
Yeah. And if somebody shows you some attention or spends some time with you, you're going to think, oh, well, I just think it's very dangerous.
Yeah.
That's what you said is actually in 1 Corinthians, how the devil tempts us because of our lack of self-control.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. We kind of talked about this earlier. The next question, how do you discuss and agree on home responsibilities?
Oh, that's pretty easy too.
Man, we never really discussed it. We just do them.
Just do them. Yeah.
you know what? I want you to chime in on this, Mom, because I tell people all the time, but I want them to hear it from the horse's mouth, so that way they know that I'm not bullshit.
What about about the stuff we did?
Yeah.
Chores we did?
Yep.
Yeah, but when we bought this house, we've been in this house over 40 years. I have never, ever cut grass. Never. That's what his dad did. His dad took care of the lawn, the flowers, the bushes. That's what he was good at. Again, that's what he did. And I did the cleaning and the laundry, but he was good about helping keep the house clean and stuff. But nope, I tell people all the time I was spoiled rotten. And I didn't know I was spoiled until he got sick. And I had to hire people to come and do the work that he did. And because I used to laugh, because even him being sick, he would sit on the porch and supervise. But yeah, I tell people he never thought I should cut grass. He was like, that's not your job. You just don't cut grass. And so I didn't, so. Yeah, and like they said, how do you decide who does what? We just do it. I thought myself, I'm thinking now some things in a marriage, I'm like, come on now. Some things you just do. Like I was always better at cleaning the bathroom. He wasn't good at that, so that's what I did. But I thought to myself, he didn't mind vacuuming. I hate vacuuming, but he loved it. So, okay, you vacuum there.
Right.
I thought, you find out what you like and what another person like, and you split it up and you get it done. But I thought to myself, boy, they make. I mean, if you can't decide, you married and you can't decide who does what in the house. Oh my God! I'm like, yeah, I'm with him. Just stay single.
Yeah, but no, because you want that, because this is what you starting to hear more women say now. They want men like all the stuff that dad did that you never had to worry about. They still expect the man to do all of that, plus split half of responsibilities inside the house, but pay 100% of the bills. That's what women are calling raising their standards now.
But what are they doing?
Exactly.
See, I'm like, I go back to what are you bringing to the table?
Oh, Mom, they don't like hearing that. Mom, they get triggered when they hear that.
Why they get triggered?
Oh my! Oh! Hey, chat! Hey! Oh my God! Mom, they gonna start calling you a mom. I can't have the internet trolls calling you a pick me, because then I'm gonna have to slap a female, bro. Like they gonna start calling you a pick me and
okay. So
all
like,
this shit. I'm gonna be like, man, my mom was married for 46 and a half years. She been picked. Get the fuck out of here.
well, see, okay, so I'm gonna give them to him like my mama did. See, I was being nice, saying what you bring to the table, but this is how my mama would say it.
Oh shit!
What are you bringing to the table other than your ass? Now that's how my mama would say it to you. Because I thought if that's all you got to offer to a man, sweetie, you know how fast he'll get tired of that. See, that's my thing. I always thought of myself as more than an ass. See, that's the thing. I can bring a lot to a relationship because I'm more than that. And I'm thinking to myself, so if you think a man should do everything for you for that, like I said, women outnumber men 5-1. So yeah, he ain't got to do all that. He really don't. Let's be sensible now. Come on. That's crazy. I'm like, and they can call me anything they want to because I had a husband. Like Gwen said, I had a husband.
We kind of share that. Now, I will tell you one thing though: the vacuum. You do all the vacuum.
Yeah, I do all the vacuuming. But
Yeah, because it's because of the machine is really a heavy machine and it's harder for me to operate. But most of the time, we basically, I do most of the washing.
do most of the laundry.
Yeah, there's some things we just we didn't discuss, but stuff that needs to be done. We wash dishes together. We do a lot together. When our kids were home, when our kids were home, that's how they learned how to work, because they would be right out there in the yard with us working, and that's how they learn how to work.
But yeah, we didn't really say, this is your duty or whatever.
Yeah.
She does most of the cooking, 99% of the cooking. I do cooking occasionally, not that, but it's not a matter of like we've said this your area. It's just stuff we did, and it's like, okay, well, I'll do that, you do that.
Okay. Was it difficult for you to prioritize your spouse over your parents and over your children? Can you explain? You talked about that order of God, spouse, children. So was it difficult to prioritize your spouse over your children, or even over your parents? After people get married, their parents still want to hold on to their relationships.
Yeah. No, I don't.
No, it wasn't difficult.
Yeah, it was.
But it was not that it wasn't an issue, but it was not difficult.
Yeah, but I think toward my mom's later years before she passed, I think I began to spend a lot more time with her and trying to help her with her, because she had dementia with that. But my priority has always been Cecil. And even my mom will tell you, because that's how she raised us, to say, your husband is, your priority, not your parents. Because you marry him, you leave them, and but they're still your parents, you know. So that balance is sometimes it can be difficult. We don't have any grandkids, so we don't have to worry about, well, do they come here or do they go to the other parents? But I'm sure when we do, it's going to be like, okay, how do your kids balance all that? And so, yeah, I think it can be difficult.
Okay. What is the secret to making marriage last? I mean, 39 years, almost 40 years. What's the secret?
But we had discussed this before. Everybody thinks there's a secret, but there is no secret. I mean, there's books out there. Everything's out there to help people to make their marriages last, to make them better. You have the ultimate guidance, the scriptures. It's just us being willing and whatever to apply them and to do it. So there is, and that's why I say to me, there is no secret. It's just a matter of, are you willing to do those things?
So
because it's out there.
I can't just read it and that's it.
You can read it.
That do nothing.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
And
faith without works, you know.
Yeah, faith without works. Love
So
it.
I mean, you got to do the work.
Yeah.
So there again. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, you finish. I'm sorry.
That's it. So the idea of there being a secret recipe, a secret formula for things to work, it's going to vary by marriage. But again, there's guidance, there's direction out there. You have, in theory, there's people that can counsel you. There have people, again, you can read stuff. So it's just a matter of being willing and to do the work.
And I think like marriage seminars, because we do marriage seminars. We pray together. We read. We talk about. We even talk about our friends who have gotten divorced, because we have friends who have gotten divorced, and it used to hit me really hard every time a friend got divorced, because I'm thinking, oh my God, I thought they had this great marriage and now they're divorced. And Cecil always reminds me, you don't know what's going on in someone's home. You only see what they let you see.
Yeah,
so you can't be freaking out over somebody who you thought, their marriage was together, and it might have been together, but they may not want it to come together. We had people, joint spouse, that never, they were never stationed together. They were both in the military. They were never stationed together because they didn't want to be together. And so, it takes, like you said, it takes work, it takes sacrifice, it takes getting out there and reading and learning and trial and error.
Yeah.
Practice.
Takes forgiveness. Yeah.
Forgiveness.
Grace and mercy.
Yeah. Trust.
Wow. So you mentioned that you both attend marriage seminars. I mean, almost 40 years. Are you guys just teaching at this level, or are you still going to learn?
We're still going to learn.
So I think that speaks of humility that, we're good, and there's no problem, but we're still students to become better. Do you think it's still important to learn to become a better spouse for your spouse? Become better for your spouse?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Especially if you plan being for the long run. I mean, because like we have longevity, both of us in our lives. So there is going to be, like he was talking about Ecclesiastics, there's going to be seasons that our marriage is going to change because we're getting older, and there may be sacrifices that we both have to make we're going to really find out, are we in it for the long run? Because health issues, you just don't know what may come up. You got to know that you're going to be in it for the long run. 40 years may seem like a lot, but 80, 50, 60, that's really a lot, especially when you have to go through some stuff. And we've been through some stuff too, just assignments and just different things. But are you willing when the health is down or whatever,
Yeah.
So.
I liked that answer because it reminded me of a sad story I heard on the internet where the husband got cancer and the wife divorced him. She didn't want to help.
She wanted
a caretaker.
Oh, that reminds me, Mom. Did you hear? Because I just covered this recently. Did you hear about? I don't know if you were familiar with LeVar Ball, but he had nursed his wife back to health after she had a stroke.
Mm-hmm.
And then last year he had to get his foot amputated because of diabetes.
Mm-hmm.
She filed for divorce.
That's crazy.
And they've been together for 30 years.
I see. I better because I took care of your dad for years.
Right.
So
And I think that's one of the reasons why so many people that watch me sent me that video to react to. You know what I mean?
because I'm like, there's no way I ever. I mean, it wasn't his fault that he got sick. I'm thinking to myself, so why would I divorce him?
But okay, so back in 2020, she gets a stroke. He nurses her back to health. I mean, and mom, the way you describe how my dad was crazy about you was the same way he was about her. Nursed her back to health, and then last year he gets his foot amputated because of diabetes, and then it comes out the other day that she filed for divorce.
See, well,
wow. So it's like this man will nurse you back to health, but as soon as he go through some shit, you like, oh, I'm running for the hills. I'm like, damn. And I'm
you
like,
know what? That's how that's what mom would be like. God don't like ugly, so when stuff start happening to her, she'll know why. I'm thinking that's just cold blooded.
And then here's the funny part about it though, and I think this was what was really triggering for me. When they was showing the videos of him like rehabbing her because she used to be an athlete like her.
Mm-hmm.
So he knew like, well, what the rehab they doing with her ain't gonna work because she's been an athlete all her life like I have, because they sons playing the NBA and shit.
Yeah.
So he started doing like a little bit more intense stuff, and that's what got her back going damn near back to normal because she kind of lost her verbal communication, kind of like dad did.
Uh-huh.
She had the same reaction. So, and he was like, dude, like speaking so highly of her, and then to turn around and you heard about this, I was like, damn, that's cold blooded.
That's cold blooded, really. Because I'm thinking, so what? She didn't want to have to push him around in a wheelchair.
I guess so.
Oh. People are so stupid.
I'm like, and again, now you understand why I'm scared to get married because I'm like, it's not too many women nowadays that's gonna take care of dad the way you did. Ain't too many women that's gonna do that. I'm like, why you think I'm so conscious about going to the gym all the time and what I put in the food that I'm putting in my body and shit. That's part of the why, because I don't feel like I can trust a woman to take care of me if something was to break down.
Because I know one time with your dad, it was when he was in what's that back there in back there in Evergreen back there, and this lady's husband came in, and they had to put him in this bed that was lower because he couldn't like get up on the bed, And I remember her coming in. I mean, this woman was dressed to the T, had jewelry on, rings on every finger, her earring, and they brought him in, and she told him, "Well, dear, I'm getting ready to leave." And then when she left, the nurse was just talking about, she won't be back. I said, "What?" They said this isn't his first time here. He comes here several times a year, and she brings him, and then she goes on with her life until it's time for him to get up out of there. Mm-hmm. And I know when I took your dad to the nursing, there was a lot of people in them nursing homes that nobody came to see. I remember this one lady would get dressed, and she'd be dressed nice in slacks and cute little sweater, and she'd be sitting in the hallway, just sitting there and singing. And they say she'll never have no visitors. I thought, how you put your people in the nursing home and don't come back and see about them? I'm thinking, we I thought he probably got tired of us. when he was over there in Evergreen, me and Gwen and Ellis, we watching the ball game every night. And then when he was over there in Indian Springs, I thought me and Dee Dee over there. And one time I went by myself, Jerome, and he wanted me to stay and watch a game with him. The game, they go into extra innings. I'm looking outside, Jerome. I'm like, it's dark. I'm like, babe, I gotta go. I'm the only one in this building now. I gotta drive home. I said, it's dark. It's like, so the game was fairly over. I kissed him goodbye. I'm walking down that hall. I'm like, I got my rollator. I'm moving, Jerome. I'm thinking, oh my God. Please don't let nobody bust me in the head in the parking lot. I thought myself, because he didn't want me to leave. And I'm like, I thought, so how do these people just bring, I don't see how people, that's just me. I can't dog nobody. I'm sorry. I ain't burning in hell for stuff like that. I thought myself, I might not get to heaven, but I'm trying.
Yeah, that's hard.
Yeah. Open discussion. What advice would you give to young people?
I say, don't be in a hurry. I mean, it seems like, you see I don't know, hear about people on Instagram and Facebook and stuff. Yeah, we're doing such and such and such. Oh, that's so great. And they feel like they have to do the same thing for anything. They have to do the same types of things to have that satisfaction. You have time. I mean, who was that? One of the friends or whatever didn't get married till she was like 60 or 50.
Yeah, she was 55.
Yeah, so I mean, and again, if you know that just getting married is probably just the beginning.
It's the easy part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's in our mind there is no hurry, but again, people feel like they need stuff, want stuff. I want to be married. I want to be happy. If you're not happy now, you're probably not going to be happy when you're married.
Yeah.
So being happy when you're single.
Yeah.
By
be
yourself.
happy with yourself. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not, don't believe the fairy tale, the hype. Because, we go in, especially women, as women, we go in thinking, oh my God, he's going to take care of my every need. He's going to do this. He's going to do that. But again, it goes back to, if you're not happy before you get married, chances are you're not going to be happy once you get married, because nobody can fulfill all your needs. And they should not be trying to fulfill all your needs. So, yeah.
You said, don't be in a hurry. What about women who say, but my biological clock is ticking, or my parents are pressuring me to have grandbabies? What advice would you give to them?
Well, I would tell the grandparents not to pressure them, for one. And what else would you say?
I mean, is your biological, do you want kids? I mean, there's options after. I mean, there's adoption, there's other ways. I mean, what is your purpose for having a child?
Okay.
What is your I mean, why you want to have a child?
And two, if you just want to have a child, if you just want to have a child and not a marriage that's going to last, because I think it goes back to getting to know the person. Yeah. Because you can marry somebody, you can say, well, I'm 40 now and I need a husband, but you could be 42 and still not have that husband. Yeah. Because that was not in God's will, and you didn't ask God at all. You just went for it. And now, you're in worse shape because now you have a child involved. Yep. Whether you adopted or you had the child. So
I don't know. I mean,
it's God's time. And I mean,
it's easier for so plain to say it's married, but I mean, there's going to be pressure on you to do things that may or may not be in your best interest all the time. So that's a decision you're going to have to make. And like any decision, there are consequences that you may have to deal with for making that decision. Are you willing to accept the consequences of that decision?
All right. Open discussion. Is there any other wisdom that you'd like to share? Anything else that comes to mind?
Just guard your marriage. Have your friends, but again, let them know there's boundaries and there's things you will do, you will not do, things you will discuss, things you will not discuss. Be sincere to your spouse and trust them,
And be trustful with them.
yeah, and keep praying and asking God for that wisdom, because we don't have the wisdom. It comes from God. It comes from it definitely comes from Him and all the tools He has given us. But it's nothing we manufactured. It didn't come from us.
Do you think it's important for young married couples to have a mentor who've been married for a long time to glean wisdom from? Like why I'm interviewing you all today. Do you think it's important to have somebody you can call on? I heard my old pastor say you need a judge. When he and his spouse had a disagreement, they would both call the pastor. The pastor would be the quote unquote judge. Do you think that's important for young married couples who are still struggling to figure it out?
It depends. Because who you may not pick a good judge.
Okay.
Because we had, I thought somebody, they had gone to their pastor, them and their wife, and the pastor
yeah.
always sided with the husband.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, like anything else, you have to be wise in making decisions like that. I mean, they have shown that counseling and things do work, but if you pick the wrong counselor,
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
so I mean, I mean, God is again the ultimate wisdom. So you have to pray about that and see where God leads you, what God leads you to do.
Yeah. And so we never had anybody that we just, I shouldn't say I'm not like most women, but I am not the person to just go and talk about my business or anybody else's business. So I'm not that person to do that. But if that works for you, but you better know who you're confiding in and the wisdom they have. And is it godly wisdom? Because me, myself, if it wasn't my daughter, I don't think I would. If somebody asked me something about scripture and marriage, I would tell them. But if somebody, and I've had people do this a lot, tell me about their marriage, I always tell them to seek the guidance from scripture and what the scriptures say. But I always tell them this too. Be careful if you're talking about leaving your spouse, because that's a critical decision, one that you may do and regret, because you may not be able to walk back into that. But I'm not that kind of sharing kind of. I think it could help.
Okay.
But I think you need to know, again, like you said.
Else,
yeah.
There is maybe some
You better be
consequences.
careful.
Like anything else, you better be careful.
Can't take
relying
advice
on the
from
wisdom
that's
of man.
right.
I mean, you can't take advice. You can't take advice from everybody.
Yeah.
You can't take all our advice.
Yeah.
I understand. I had a pastor who was also one-sided as well.
Yeah.
Everything the men did was wrong.
Yeah.
So I mean,
That's
it could be either way.
Yeah.
All right. I thank you all so very much for having this interview to be shared with our chapel community and on YouTube. Again, thank you, E. Lois Stevens and Brother Cecil. I'm so grateful for you all. Any other closing comments that you'd like to make?
No, thank you.
Nope, I don't have any. We're glad to have been able to provide some guidance or whatever it is. So
I'm grateful.
Any last words and remarks from you, Mother? Yeah, I sound like Dwight. Yeah.
I'm with them. I'm like, you got to be careful who you pick to counsel and help you, because, you tell the wrong person and all your business will be out there. But the best thing to do is to learn to communicate with people. That's really what's wrong with the whole world. Nobody really communicates. Everybody talking and ain't nobody listening. So, because me, Jerome, I just didn't like people in my business. I thought whatever's happening with me and Roy will work through it. I didn't want anybody in my business putting their 2 cents in. Because I thought, as much as I love my mama, what her thing was. Well, you can come back home.
Mhm.
No, I can't. Love you, but I ain't coming back home. Like, and I thought myself, and if you learn to talk to each other and work things out, then the marriage flows. You know, because I think about this sometimes, like the longer we were married and how easy things flowed. Because, you know, I tell people I literally grew up with my husband. So a lot of things that bothered me when we first got married didn't bother me anymore. You know, you don't pick and pick at things that don't, because you get to the point where you think some things don't really matter. They really don't. So you like, I ain't wasting my time on that. And I thought myself, that's the way it should be about life. And like they tell you, and if there are people that are brought in your life for a season. And when that season is up, there was a reason. And you need to look at that reason and learn from it. So that's what I always tell people. I was like, you know, you meet people, and you know me, Jerome, my friends, I've been friends with people since elementary school. I've been friends with people I work with for almost 40 years. You know, I don't pick new friends quick. I thought myself, because I got enough friends and they keep me busy. So I'm civil to people, but I don't tell people my business. I mean, because even around here, there are quite a few people that Jerome was surprised that I'm still in this house
Why? Just because Dad passed?
because Dad passed. And I thought to myself, and that's because me and Roy, we had our own plan of how things are going to go. And we didn't include that in everybody. We didn't tell everybody. We just did it. You know, so I thought to myself, yeah, we made a plan a long time ago of how to keep this house. You know, so I'm thinking to myself that people don't have to worry about me. I'm all right. It's like, but I tell people, I thought the main thing is learn. Even when you meet somebody, ask a lot of questions. That's how you get to know each other. You got to ask a lot of questions. You can't be shy about it, because you trying to find somebody that's going to be in your life for the rest of your life. You need to ask a lot of questions. And people will be like, "Well, I didn't know what to ask." I ask all kind of things, like who your people, who you related to. That's like when Dewan went to Uncle Odell's funeral, and guys he used to hang in the street with. They all laughing and talking, "Man, what you doing here?" He's like, "Man, that's my uncle." And I'm like, "Well, how's he your uncle?" "Well, his brother is my grandfather." All these years he's been related to his cousins. He didn't know these people were his cousins. And see, then that's why I said, and that's why you need to ask questions. Because you don't know who's who. You don't know where they from. And I'm nosy, so I'm going to ask a lot of questions. I mean, I know your dad must have thought, for her to be a young woman, she sure is nosy. Because I asked a lot of questions. That's how I found out he knew my Uncle Michael, his brother's son with my Uncle Oscar. I'm thinking about seven, and he used to hang in Stanley Road at it was this guy named Milton. They lived over in the row house across from us. Well, around the bend and across from us. And he used to hang in there with them, 'cause he said they all went to see Smokey Robinson at the State Theater. I said, "Well, how old were you?" He said 16. He said, Did you get to go see him?" Jerome, I'm like, looking at him, I said, "I was 8. My bedtime was 8:30.
All right.
He talking about, oh, okay. Like, man, you 8 years older than me. Think about it. But I thought to myself, because me and Roy talk so much, that's why because Gwen said sometimes something could happen and me and Roy just look at each other and just bust out laughing. And she said, it's like you didn't have to say nothing. And I said, that's because we've been together so long, we can read each other's backs.
Mhm.
And I tell people, I told them, me and Roy loved going to the movies. We always have, always. I said, but when we were younger, well, we couldn't go to the movie if it started before 10 o'clock. Then as we start getting up, okay, the movie started at 7 o'clock. Then it was 4 o'clock. Then it was 2 o'clock. I said, I'd be like, what happened to them? We couldn't do this unless it was 10 o'clock at night. I go to movies now at 10, I'm going to be asleep. I thought myself, but I tell people, when people ask me about movies, it's because me and Roy went all the time. And then when you got old enough to go, when he knew you wouldn't cry in the theater, there you was sitting there with us. And I'm like, I'm thinking Jerome should know all about the Showcase Cinema. I'm thinking, oh my God. I'm like, yeah, I thought we loved the movies, and I'm thinking we take the kids to the zoo and to Kings Island. And I thought myself, I told him, I said, Roy was always thinking of stuff to do. I said, then we went to Winterfest that time, and I'm like, because I tell people, I said, Roy really surprised me at how good a dad he was. And when y'all used to go to the wrestling matches, I told her, I said, he did a lot of stuff with Jerome. He really surprised me being the dad he was. I said, I got pictures of Jerome sitting in a pumpkin seat watching the game with his dad. I told him, I said, from day one, I said, Jerome came into the world. I didn't have to worry about Jerome no more because that was his boy, you know. And I tell people, I said, we had a good marriage. There was bumps in the road. I tell people when we first got married, I thought, I am not going to be married for 5 years. I'm going to be divorced. Because I was silly about a lot of things that I shouldn't have been. But he was doing crazy stuff too. So, but then you ride that out and you get to a point where all that silliness leaves you and you grow up and you just keep moving along. But I thought myself, these people, they get divorced over anything. I'm like, I'm thinking to myself, and my thing is, did you really want to be with that person, really? Or did you just see some people just want to get married? They like that, the ceremony, spending $30,000 for a wedding. Because a friend of mine, Kim, her daughter got married last year. Yeah, last year, because the baby was born. She was probably married about a year and 3 months when the baby was born. And they spent $25,000 on this wedding. I said, Kim, I said, did you make them sign the contract? She said, huh? I said, sign the contract. She said, Bear, what contract? I said, girl, you spent $25,000. I'd make them sign a contract that they got to stay married at least 10 years. I said, because I said, this getting married and divorced in 2 years, oh, no, that ain't happening. Not if I spend that kind of money. I thought I said, but I ain't spending that kind of money. And just like Dion said, Dion told Ronisha, when they get married, he going to have Popeyes cater the wedding. I said, cool, because I love me some Popeyes. Because Dion don't have a whole lot of family, and Ronisha got a whole lot of family. And I told her, I said, Ronisha, he ain't for big ceremonies and stuff like that. I said, so, yeah, you could have the preacher marry you where you get married at the reception hall. Get married, and then turn around and we have a party, I told her, I said, yeah. Because I told her, I said, girl, I said, your grandma going to cook some sides. I said, girl, we'll have a good time. I mean, he's serious about that, though. He said, we having Popeyes. I told him, I ain't mad at you. Dee Dee told me, I'm just going to bring me a Ziploc bag so I can take some chicken off.
She good.
How stupid she is. I'm just like, but see, even with them, I can see how he's changed Ronisha. Ronisha going to school and getting this graduate from this LPN program. I mean, that's because she was with Dion, because Dion told her, don't worry about working. You worry about getting through school. I got this. Girl, we told her, you can't get rid of him. I don't care what happened. You can't get rid of him. And I know, because she keep talking about getting married. I said, Ronisha, leave it alone. You're gonna get married. But see, I know what he wants, Jerome. He wants to get married and move into a house because he been looking at houses. And I told her, I said, girl, just go with the flow. What is wrong with you? Don't mess this up. You done got a good man. Go with the flow. All right. I'm thinking myself, they going on the cruise. They got the suite with the jacuzzi tub inside.
Oh yeah.
I told Janine, we go travel on down to they cabin. I'm like, girl. But I thought myself, yeah, man, like some of the young girls out here talking, I'm like, y'all ain't gonna never have a husband. And I guess y'all are gonna go ahead and have kids out of wedlock. But I thought to myself, I had a child out of wedlock. Take my word for it. It's better to have a husband. It's better to have a child with a husband. I thought to myself, because y'all don't know, it was a big difference between me having Janine and me having you.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, but I thought they put too much stipulation on marriage. I thought, so y'all really ain't trying to marry nobody because you love them. Y'all just got these dumbass stipulations of what y'all think a marriage is supposed to be. And I'm thinking to myself, and if you just want somebody to take care of your lazy ass, no. Your parents already took care of you. And I thought myself, I ain't never, Jerome, all the years I was married to your dad, I ain't never thought about leaving my job. Never. It didn't cross my mind. Because I figure if we both working, we'll have more. We'll accumulate more. And I thought sitting up there talking about, man, I'm ready to quit my job. He can take care of me. What?
Yeah, like whatchamacallit on Everybody Hates Chris. I don't gotta put up with this. My husband got 3 jobs. I was like, what the hell? Like, oh man, she couldn't keep a job.
Yeah, but she always went and found another job though. She just didn't take no mess when she worked. But I'm thinking about these people. I don't know, John. I don't know what to say for them. But I thought myself that, because I looked at Kishana, she's standing there with her kids. And I'm thinking to myself, well, you probably ain't gonna never have a husband either. Just silly. I thought she could have, and her 3 kids are by the same man. But you didn't want him because he was too mild-mannered. That was the problem, too mild-mannered. And Cup is a big guy. And she just dogged him. I thought to myself, but I couldn't have been his mama. I'm like, you wouldn't have dogged my son, sweetie. I thought to myself, what kind of mamas y'all got don't stand up for y'all? Because I thought myself, I'm like, not my son. Not my son. Because I would say something. You know me. I would say something.
Yeah, she will.
I'm like,
she's done it before.
That's what I'm saying. I'm gonna say, you my son try to be good to you. You gonna try to misuse him? Oh hell no, no, we ain't doing that. Like no. And that's what me and Dynasty was talking. Dynasty said, she said, that's why I ain't got married. She said, because she said, some of these guys, she said, and I would be a good wife. And I said, I know, baby. She said, but.
Yeah, be honest with you, I'm kind of surprised she ain't married yet. Keep it 100 with you.
Well, she said she was close. Because I remember pictures of this guy on vacation with her and stuff. She said, but, you know, with her being in the Air Force and stuff, she got certain duties. You got to do certain stuff.
Right.
But I thought she
does she have to like travel sometime? Is that what
sometimes she had to travel. And she really like over nurses. Like she's so high up that she is over the nurses. So she might have to fly out of town somewhere and do something, you know. And I think what it was is that he just felt Dynasty got too far up, you know, because once she went for that PhD, and I remember her working for that PhD. I mean, she studied, and I'm thinking, ooh, she good, because I think I give up. I would give up. And I mean, and she nice looking, and I'm like, and she is so much fun. And then she said, well, she's stationed in Dayton now. So she said, you know, that she said, I hope this is the last place that I got, because she done bought a house up in Dayton. And she said, you know, she told me, you know, how she had to get somebody. She said, either I'm going to have to buy a lawnmower or I'm going to have to pay somebody to cut the grass. I said, well, I'm going to tell you, I'll pay somebody. But Dion talk about, well, how far away? She said, well, Dion, I'm an hour away. She said, I don't expect you to come and cut my grass. He's like, but you know I will cut it for you. She said, I know. But I'm just like, but she doing fine. And I'm like, you know, because I'm thinking, I'm trying to figure out how old Dynasty is. Because I know Keisha your age.
Well, yeah, because Dynasty was like a few years younger, wasn't she?
I thought she was, but I'm not sure.
I want to say she got to be like maybe like 36, 38.
Okay, Ranisha 37. Is she younger or older than Ranisha? I thought she was older than Ranisha.
I want to say she older.
Because Keisha be 41 next month. Because you and Keisha the same age.
Well, I don't know. Maybe she like 30.
And even
38.
And even Keisha, because Keisha is married to Will.
Right.
And Keisha been married. I'm like, how long Keisha been married now? Is it 8 years? And you know, Will is shorter than Keisha.
Yeah. I met them. You know, I met him before.
But Jerome, he is so nice. And he is good to Keisha. And at first she was kind of self-conscious. And I told her, I said, what you do is you wear flats. And I told her, I said, Keisha, I said, was your baby daddy's? Was he tall? She said, yeah. I said, how'd that work out for you? She started laughing. She said, it didn't. I said, that's what I'm talking about. This man can renovate houses and stuff. She don't want for nothing. I mean, she work, but she don't want for nothing.
Right.
They going on the cruise. They'll go and have a good time. I told her, I said, And really, me and Didi, we thought Will is in his 50s. But when you see him, Jerome, I'm like,
damn, he that old? He look young as hell.
I know. We were at the bowling alley a couple of months ago.
I thought he was the same age as me or close around that.
I know. That's what I thought. He said, no, I'm in my 50s. What? And then his son came into the bowling alley, and his son is taller than him. Miss Didi talking about, damn, his son good looking too. I'm like, I told Didi, but he is just so sweet. And I told Keisha, I said, you can't worry about what other people think. I said, if he good to you, you love your husband, forget what other people think. I said, because they going to always have something to say. The better y'all do, the more they going to talk. And my thing is give them something to talk about. I said, that way, you know, because apparently their lives are so boring, they ain't got nothing else to do but talk about you and your husband.
Oh, yeah, you can apply that. You can apply that to more than just relationships.
Mm-hmm.
I can tell you now. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, the better you do, the more they talk. So my thing is talk about me. I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking myself, I'm glad you letting me live in your head rent free.
Mm. Mm-mm.
Well, I'm gonna get off of here.
All right.
Tell your friends you done kept me up way past my bedtime.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, I apologize, Mom. Yeah, 'cause
That's
I know that.
okay.
I know that because I know that video was like an hour, almost an hour and a half long. I was like trying to hurry up and get through it.
Well, it ain't like I gotta get up and go to work or nothing.
But I appreciate you coming on, Mom. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, don't be surprised. Because don't be surprised because they already been in the chat asking you to come back.
Say maybe next time we'll come back and talk about some recipes or something.
Oh, okay. That's what's up.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Good night.
Night, Ma. I love you.
Love you too. Yeah, you guys. Yeah, dude, I can't. Yeah, because I can't. It's been a long time since I had a 3-hour live. Jesus Christ. But that video was an hour, like almost an hour and a half long. So, given that, not too bad. Yeah, because usually by now she'll be passed out. But that's what's up, man. Yeah, man, something a little different. Man, shout out to Will Mallory because he requested it. Let's see if we can make something else shake in the future. I still have not heard back. Somebody in the chat said they used to hoop over here in the backyard, but I did not recognize the picture, bro. Is you still in here? Yeah. Damn, I cannot recognize that picture, bro. Yeah, cause my dad ain't play about people hanging on the rim. I'm like, yeah, because dude, it was a pain in the ass getting that hoop set up. Like, damn, I'm like, I cannot recognize your picture, G. Like, he probably ain't in the chat anymore. Like, yeah. Tomorrow. Probably go live a little later, not much later, like about a half an hour or so later. The Plant, Mariah, I was about to call her Mariah the Scientist, Mariah Sincere, whatever her damn name is, Mariah the Plant. Mariah the Plant Sincere. Looks like she's being somewhat hypocritical. Had a little bit of a crash out on a live show. Solo Traveler ORD covered. I'm going to do a reaction to that tomorrow. And I also got some other future videos that I can probably see myself reacting to maybe next weekend. Hopefully by then I get some good news about this visa. Because we pretty much rolling up on 4 weeks right about now. So, but I have not heard back. But I definitely been paying attention to the phone, impatiently waiting. Like we might have to do like an like when I get the green light, we might have to do like an emergency live. We might have to do like an emergency live. You know what I mean? So that way I can start booking flights. You know what I mean? Get shit shaking. Because the boy is ready to go. I am getting antsy.
I've been in the gym going ham. I'm probably sitting at about the leanest that I've ever been in a long time. I feel good. I'm ready. Yeah, I'm devil smiley face emoji. I'm on that type of time. Yeah, let's go. Chill. Yeah, man, me too. Like the sooner the better, bro. I'm ready to go, y'all. I ain't even gonna hold you, bro. I'm getting anxious as fuck. Anxious as hell, bro. But yeah, that's what we're gonna be getting into tomorrow. So, but you know, who knows, man? Maybe we'll get the good news tomorrow. That would be pretty dope. But thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure y'all hit the like button if you haven't already. Like, don't be surprised if I end up chopping and clipping some of this, and definitely uploading it. It was definitely some gems dropped in this one. Y'all have a good night, man. See y'all tomorrow.